First beer of the stream.
I have 13 beers in the fridge. How far will I go? But they're not very big.
I thought you'd have stubbies.
No, cans are easier to get home. These only come in cans anyway. These cheap, shitty beers that I was talking about last time. They're not
What are
the
they
biggest
called?
cans. Ton.
I have never heard of it.
Yeah, it is cheap. It is shit. It would be Australia's worse than Pabst Blue Ribbon. I don't mind Pabst. It's all right.
I'm thinking more Stag.
What, is that your worst? I thought Budweiser would be. I mean, it's like being in a canoe. They're both fucking close to water.
Stags or hams, probably. It's probably like our bottom of the barrel.
I mean,
yet
the worst beer
flagship
that I don't like
brand.
is 4X Gold. I can't stand that stuff. This I can drink. 4X is like, ugh, no.
It is Joe's birthday today, so I have an entire playlist of Birthday Massacre waiting just for you.
No way.
I hate you.
So, shall we start?
Yes.
Since we're beating about bush.
Yeah,
Shall
I'm ready.
we start? I've got the perfect start for it.
Alright.
Come
One.
on.
That's
One
a start.
ton.
One can.
You have to do a count all the way through this
One
now.
of 13. Oh, each time I open a can, I'm going to count it. Do I do it like the count, though? By the end, my voice might be all over the place. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting when I do my story if I'm sort of... how coherent I'll be.
We'll probably go first.
No, I went first last time.
Alright.
Someone else could go first.
Somebody do the intro.
Show me your playlist.
So, hello everybody. How you doing? We're back for part 2. Halloween Special 2024. Oh, where did they go? Nobody knows. Oh. I'm gonna try and get this edited so we can release it on Halloween. Yeah. That's
That'd be
gonna
cool.
be interesting. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
perfect timing if I can do it. But
Right.
I will try to get it out by then, or at least maybe a day or two afterwards if I get bogged down with stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, and let's play the intro music. Cranky Goth the crew, they're coming after you. They are all so spooky. Cranky Goth the crew, it's Halloween part 2. Cranky Goth the crew. Cranky Goth the crew, they're gonna follow you. We are all so spooky. Cranky Goth the crew, it's Halloween part 2. Cranky Goth the crew. Don't look back, you may see I mean we're who. We're back again with Scarecrow Joe too. Cranky Goth the crew, they're coming after you. We are all so spooky. Cranky Goth the crew, it's Halloween part 2. Cranky Goth the crew. Ha 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 ha. Cranky Goth the crew. Cranky Goth posers. See, I did sing it.
Good job. Okay, you are joined by myself, Thenag.
And ATAC?
And Mystic.
And Scarecrow Joe, now going by Haven.
I was going to say, you probably should explain that one, because I'm going to have to stick some sort of thing over the background, like a plaster that says the artist formerly known as Chandler.
Yep. Formerly Chandler. It's not a dead name, I'm just not using it anymore. But going by Haven. It's more true to who I am as a person.
It's
One
more
says in-
pretentious.
It's not a pretentious thing, it's more of a personal thing.
Okay, that's fair.
I do know in Celtic traditions is that you could change your name once you've been through something in your life or something like that to mark new part or stage of your life. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably a similar
Actually-
thing might happen with natives as well.
Actually, that's
Yeah, it
something
does,
I
actually.
forgot to mention last episode. We had the artist formerly known as Elitist Joe on the same thing with Scarecrow Joe.
It's a place of rebirth and rebranding.
It is.
Right?
Because we're going to have a guest on here next, and they're going to be suddenly wanting to go a different direction.
We
Well,
didn't really
House
ask you
of
what-
I don't know what would they be?
Mhm.
House of I don't know, Earthworm.
Yeah. I just don't have anything to change it at the minute, so
Three
I'm not really.
expensive poses.
House of Griffin.
I need to change it though. So something, so it doesn't really have my X in it, really.
Mm.
But anyway, what else
The
was I gonna
House
ask?
of
You should
Spook.
probably
Hardcore goth.
the House of Spook. Should probably have
House of Posers.
for the people listening. It's my YouTube channel we're referring to.
Yes,
But,
we all have YouTube channels, and
Yeah,
they
they
are
are
all
really
awesome.
descriptive.
And you should subscribe to us all. Like and subscribe, bitches. Oh yeah! I never say that on my videos. I can say it here.
Oh yeah.
We never
Yeah.
really got a chance for Haven to explain what obscura undead is or
Ooh,
anything
yeah.
that they do. I noticed that
Oh.
when I was listening to it back.
Well, it's evolved a lot over the years of its inception. Originally, it was the idea behind it was kind of a loose collaboration of a bunch of different DJs to help get music out, and then it kind of became more of a music journalism outlet.
Mhm.
And it became less focused on doing physical things and like helping artists tour through. And that was just because I think we started kind of losing the manpower to do it as time went on. Most people who got kind of established would kind of move on and want to do their own projects, which, you know, as you do.
The music compilations you guys were releasing were top notch.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we worked very hard on those.
Oh, that would be
requires
so
a
hard
lot
to
of
put
attention.
together. You got a lot of legals you got to worry about from the bands and all sorts. Plus,
Yeah.
because if they happen to be represented by a record company or something, that makes it even worse. If they're just independents, it's not so bad. But which most of them were.
Yeah, that's correct. Unless they release themselves, self-released artists. That's, I think, like the only quote-unquote signed or labeled bands that we work with, just because it gets messy fast. Otherwise, yeah, it's just mostly just music journalism, interviewing artists and stuff like that nowadays. We do have our physical events, but it's mainly just stuff that either Azzy is working on or collaborating on with somebody, or one of my events, which is Obscura Undead West, respectively, since I'm not in Tampa.
Yeah,
So-
I was thinking most
people
of
don't
the
get us mixed
physical
up.
events are the ones at the castle, aren't they?
Yeah,
I was going to say, is Azzy actually from your city? I'm not going to say where. Or is she from
No.
somewhere else?
no, Azzy is in Florida, and I'm over in Missouri and North Carolina right now. But
Yep.
on our way
Yeah.
to head
Poses
down
on
to
tour.
Southern Gothic Festival. You know it.
I don't know what it was. I swear, haven't you two actually met though? Because I swear I've seen a picture of you guys together or something.
So we have met a few times now, actually, but we have yet to ever actually meet up and work on something together. So every time that we've been like visiting, it's always just been kind of like just us like meeting up to hang out. So we haven't like actually like collaborated on like a goth night or anything yet, which I hope we get to eventually. It'll be a lot of fun.
Obscura
the stuff-
Fest.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
What is the other stuff that you do outside of that?
Outside of Obscura Undead,
Yeah.
there's Gateway Goth events, which I'm slowly kind of transitioning over to Obscura Undead West. And Gateway Goth events is just basically like the established brand in St. Louis. And the whole thing with it is just kind of like very DIY centric, like encouraging people to come out and express themselves in an environment that they don't have to worry about, being judged in. We're also very queer centric, and it just seems like it's kind of like a weird coincidence that most of the people that are the most expressive and like to, peacock, as it were, with like dressing up for going out on goth nights has been the queer folk here. So it just kind of happened organically.
Well, they're gonna go where they feel safe, though, isn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it's a natural,
very...
It's a natural conglomeration.
Yeah, and that's a very big focus of ours. So there's that, and then of course, Obscura Undead is actually getting ready to release a new podcast collaboration with Ryan Flint of Witch Hands, which is Coffin Juice. Oh yeah! I don't know the whole tagline behind it. There's quite a few of us that are collaborating on it, but we're going to be going over like goth history and stuff like that, which was originally what Azzy and I were going to do. But it just got to be where it was just too much because we have too much on our plates and too neurospicy to collaborate on it just by ourselves, I think.
That is. It's kind of like what we were trying to do back in the day, isn't it? Like on the Gothy Discord, because we had loads of collaborations with loads of YouTubers and bloggers, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
And we
with
worked
the
on a few Project Goth playlist.
Project Goth playlist, yeah.
And
We could always run another one of those.
Yeah, that
Let's
was a great
Do
idea.
that as part of the Cranky Goth Pose
Welcome.
brand instead.
Was
I'd
it like
be down for that.
was it like going into like the history of like the music and stuff like that?
Well,
Artists?
we all picked a band and we basically covered it, and it covered different media. Like I did mine as an article on Cemetery Confessions or Belfry.rip.
Mhm.
Other people made videos and different sorts of things, just talking about a band and going into the history of the band, some of their good songs, examples or links to the music, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I did one for the Shroud, and that one was actually founded by the band, and they really appreciated it.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
no.
Oh my god, no way.
it was really cool.
I forgot what band I did.
I did
think it was-
Suspiria because, of course, I did.
Yeah.
They're like, well, my favourite band, and I'm all about Nightbreed Records.
The original video of me explaining what it is like so fucking long, and I jabbered all the way through it. People say you talked to it, I didn't listen. Just give us the idea of what it is. And
It's so hard not to do that.
I think part of it too, from at least what Dean was trying to do, was to inspire people to do their own. And it wasn't set to a certain amount of people, though we did have a few people that were agreed to sort of get the ball rolling.
yeah.
The
God, I would love to see something like that take off
top
again.
50 favourite goth band list that I didn't come up with the idea, someone else did, but I helped to get that one rolling. And that took off a lot more because you could basically make a meme out of it by editing the file and then just sharing it wherever you want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you share the template and then people take that as well. That did well.
It was in response to the Killstar hashtag, so we wanted to promote the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
the things we've done has been in response to like disinformation or people trying to push stuff that just is in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
It was
It was a good time in the
Anti-capitalist,
goth
too.
scene, honestly. There's a
It
lot
was
of
the-
collaboration.
Fucking
It was
K's
the-
for Killstar. Get fucked.
No.
it was during the great goth YouTube civil war.
Well, that's kind of still going on, but
That's all.
it never ends.
Is it
No,
though?
it
I haven't
doesn't.
seen any spicy stuff between creators. It's just been
Go
always-
Horrors
look at
never end.
TikTok.
yeah, TikTok is the
That's
new
the battleground
battleground.
now.
And that's,
Well,
that's
And
I
we
think
still
the-
see a little bit of it on Reddit, but a lot of the people that were getting quite grumpy at us, as far as we know, well, we don't even bother checking on them anymore. Because, like, fine, you're going to get mad at the way we define things. You know, we're
if we got
looking
to-
at goth genre, you're looking at goth club. Both related to the subculture, and technically both are correct.
Just to add a caveat, the idea was that everybody who did a video went on to be stored on the MySpace page, not the MySpace, the Facebook page. So we have everyone stored on the Project Goth playlist one, and it's still gaining people, even though nothing's posted there really, except me doing poses. It has like 3K followers,
Nice.
and people
Wow.
keep
That's
joining
more
it.
than the latest Joe
Nothing's,
ever had.
nothing's being posted on it. That's the hilarious thing. Nothing gets posted on it except poses anymore. But the idea originally was that once the video went out, it would be ongoing. It would go on forever,
Yeah.
but it died out. I mean, if you search Project Goth playlist in YouTube, you'll see everyone's videos. But yeah.
Well, you can do
Maybe
like up to
good
like
time for a reboot.
yeah, I think you can do like up to like 60-minute videos now on TikTok. So maybe it could take off on TikTok.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What do you, the audience, think?
Leave a comment in the comment section below.
Leave a comment, like and subscribe.
Right, we should focus on Halloween stuff now because this is
Yeah.
Before that, we need to
Song?
play a song.
That's right.
Birthday Boy gets the first one.
Yep.
Whoa, well, if that's the case, I'll do the birthday song. Yes,
thought you were gonna
I'm
say
now
Suspiria.
47 years old. I don't feel it, but every time I look in the mirror says otherwise. Anyway, the first song I'm going to start with is by a band called Death in Venice. They're from Italy. The song's called Happy Birthday. It is an actual goth birthday song, not some
Nice.
person connected to the goth scene doing it in industrial or dark cabaret or some crap like that. No, it is actually goth and very post-punk sounding at that. And there's not a lot about them I can find on Discogs, but I think they're still going. They might have a website, but I didn't have much of a look. I do know that the song's on SoundCloud though, so someone from the band is still about. Now, this song is on a demo tape titled Decadence, and it was released in 1983. I could only find one copy on Discogs of it, and it will cost nearly $800 dues. So I guess listening to it online is your best bet, but you can pretty much listen online for free, which is nice. If they ever sold it or made some sort of physical media, I'd consider getting it. But yeah, I send this to goths all the time for their birthdays. So this year, I'm playing it for me. It's my party, and I'll die if I want to.
Happy birthday to you. Listen to me. Happy birthday to you. And 100 of happy days. 100 flying. 100 laughter. 100 sweetness. birthday to you. And hundreds of happy days. Happy birthday to you. Oh, listen to me. Happy birthday to you. And hundreds of happy birthday to you. And all the happy days. Happy birthday to you. And hundreds of happy days. Happy birthday to you. Only that to me. Hundreds of flames. Hundreds of laughter. Hundreds of sweetness. Hundreds of games. Happy birthday to you. Oh, listen to me. Happy birthday to you.
Cool.
That was spectacular.
Now you'll all be sending it to your friends for their birthdays too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Promoting old music.
Happy birthday.
Love it.
Happy birthday.
Yay, thank you.
Get that out the way. We should do a story just to get one out the way at least.
Mm.
So, if you, Joe, went
I
first
should
last-
announce it so people know, because it's my birthday, even though it's like early in the morning, I'm drinking breakfast beers. I have 13 in the fridge. I'm on one currently. How far will I go? You heard that?
Yes.
I sure did.
Happy birthday, Joe.
She's trying to sing. Trying. Yep. Okay. Yep. I get it. Thank you. She wants me to tell you all she is stoned. On medication, not on wacky weed.
Wouldn't judge either way.
Yeah.
Want to do rock, paper, scissors, Meg, to see who goes between me and you?
I forgot the
Which
name
actually
of the
means
story.
me.
But yeah, but I can't
Journey.
see you.
Journey to the Skeleton House.
That's right. Journey to the Skeleton House. It's a Hopi story,
Mhm.
and Haven will be reading it because my eyesight is poor, which really sucks, but it happens.
Just please start.
Yeah, take it away.
Two beers.
All right. A Journey to the Skeleton House. Haleksai. In Shangopavi, where the people were first living, a curious young man would often sit at the edge of the village looking at the graveyards. He wondered what became of the dead if they really continued to live somewhere else. He asked his father, who could tell him very little. His father was the village chief, and he said that he would speak to the other chiefs and to his assistants about it. He asked the village criers whether they knew anything that would help his son. Yes, they said. Badger, old man has the medicine that will answer his questions. So they called Badger, Old Man, and when he arrived, they said, "This young man is thinking about the dead, whether they live anywhere. You know about it, and you have the medicine that can show him." "Very well," he said. "I'll go and get my medicine." So he went to his house, looked over his medicines, and finally found the right one. "This is it," he said, and took it to the village chief. "Very well," he said. "Tomorrow put a white kilt on your son and then blacken his chin with toho. I don't know what that is. With black shale. Tie a small eagle feather to his forehead. These are the very preparations used for the dead." The next morning, they dressed the young man in this way, and Badger Old Man spread a white owa on the floor. I also don't know what that is. And told the young man to lie on it. He gave the young man some medicine to eat and placed medicine in his ears and on his heart. Then he wrapped him in a robe, whereupon the young man, after moving a little, died. In quotations. "This is the medicine," Badger Old Man said. "If he hears this, he will go far away, but he will also come back again. He wanted to see something and find out something, and with this medicine, he will do just that." After the young man had fallen asleep, he didn't actually die. He saw a path leading westward. It was the road to the skeleton house. This path he followed, and after a while, he met a young woman sitting by the roadside. "What have you come here for?" she asked the young man. "I have come," he replied, "to find out about your life here." "Yes," the other one said. "I didn't follow the straight road. I didn't listen, and now I have to wait here. After a certain number of days, I can go on a little, and then I can go on again. But it'll be a long time before I shall get to the skeleton house." She pointed to an enclosure of sticks, which was all the house and protection she had. For here, the path led westward through large cactus and agave plants, so full that they sometimes hid the way. He finally arrived at the rim of the steep bluff where a chief was sitting. He was Juanita, and had a white line around his right eye and a big horn or a headdress. I don't know how that works. He also asked the young man why he had come, and the latter told him. "Very well." The chief said, "Away over there is the house that you were looking for," but a great deal of smoke in the distance hid the house from the young man's view. The chief spread the young man's kilt on the ground, placed the young man on it, then lifted it up. Holding it over the precipice, the chief threw it forward, whereupon the kilt carried the young man slowly down like a giant bird. When he had arrived on the ground below the bluff, he put on his kilt again and proceeded. In the distance, he saw a column of smoke rising. After he had proceeded a distance, he came upon Skeleton Woman and asked her what the smoke was. "Some of those who were wicked while they lived in the village were thrown in there," she said. "The bad chiefs send their people over this road, and then they are destroyed. They no longer exist. You must not go there," she added. "Keep on this road and go straight ahead towards the skeleton house." When at last he arrived at the skeleton house, he did not see anyone except for a few children playing there. "Oh," they said, "here a skeleton has come." And by the time he went into the village, all the people, or skeletons rather, living there, had heard about him and gathered to stare. "Who are you?" they asked the young man. "I am the village chief's son. I came from Shangopavi." So they pointed towards the Bear clan, saying, "Those are the people that you want to see. They are your ancestors." A skeleton took him over to the house where his clan lived and showed him the ladder that led up to the house. The rungs of the ladder were made of sunflower stems, and the first rung broke as soon as he stepped on it, though the skeletons went up and down the ladder with no trouble. "I shall have to stay down here," he said. "Bring me food and feed me here." So the skeletons brought him some watermelon and chukiviki. I don't know what that is. When they saw him eat, they laughed at him. They are lighter than air because they never eat the food, but only its odor or soul. And that is the reason why the clouds into which the dead are transformed are not heavy and can float in the air. The food itself the skeletons threw out behind the houses, which is where they got his meal. When he had finished, they asked him what he had come for. He said, "I was wondering whether skeletons lived somewhere. I told my father I wanted to go and find out, and he dressed me up this way, and Badger Old Man gave me some medicine to make it happen. So that's what you've come here for. Well, look at us." Then they added, "It's not light here. It's not light as where you live. We actually live poorly here. You cannot stay with us here yet. Your flesh is still strong and salty. You still eat food. We eat only the odor of the food, but when you go back, you must work there for us. Make us nakwakwakosis." Whatever. I can't read that. "For us at the soil ceremony. These we tie around our foreheads, and they represent dropping rain. We shall work for you here too. We shall send you rain and crops. You must wrap up in the Owa women when they die and tie the big knotted belt around them, because these Owas are not tightly woven. When the skeletons move along on them through the sky as the clouds, the thin rain drops through these Owas, and the big raindrops fall from the fringes of the big belt. Sometimes you cannot see the clouds distinctly, because they are hidden behind these nakwakosis, just as our faces are hidden behind them." Looking around, the young man saw some of the skeletons walking around with huge burdens on their backs. These were mealing stones, which they carried by thin string over the forehead that had cut deeply into the skin. Others carried bundles of cactus on their backs, and as they had no clothes on, the thorns of the cactus hurt them. He was told that some had to submit to such punishments for a certain length of time. Then they were relieved of them and could live with the others. At another place in the skeleton house, he saw the chiefs who had been good here in the world and had made a good road for the other people. They had taken on their taponis, their protective medicine, and set them up there. And when the people here in the village have their ceremonies and smoke during the ceremonies, the smoke goes down into the other world, to the taponis, or mothers, and from there rises up in the form of clouds. After the young man had seen everything and satisfied his curiosity, he set off to his own village. When he arrived at the steep bluff, he again mounted his kilt, and a slight breeze lifted him up. He met the Guanita chief, who told him, "Your father and mother are mourning for you now, so you better return home." This was the last person he met on his way back. When he had just about arrived at his house, his body, which was still laying under the covering in the room where he had fallen asleep, began to move. And as they joined once more, it came to life again. They removed the covering, and Badger Old Man wiped his body and washed the paint off his face and discharmed him. Then he sat up. They fed him and asked him what he had found out. He recounted all of his experiences in detail: the woman with the house of brush, the Guanita chief, and his flight on a kilt, and all the skeleton house, the skeletons with the heavy burdens of cactus and stones, even the skeleton's food. "I have seen it all myself now. I shall remember it. We are living in the light here. They are living in the dark there. No one should desire to go there." Then he told them about the nakwakosis, the Bauhaus. "If we make prayer offerings to them, they will provide rain and crops and food for us. Thus we shall assist each other." "Very well," they all said, and very well, so that is the way. And so they returned to their homes wiser than before. And from that time, the living and the dead began to work together for the benefit of both. Based on a tale collected by Henry Voth in 1905. That was longer than I expected.
I like it. It's a very native story.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Usually, I was trying to look for the rule of three because they usually do that, I think, but I might be wrong.
Some of
There's
the names
usually
too
something to
sounded
learn.
almost Aztec.
Nah, I mean, Hopi's right on the border. They're
Yeah.
cousins.
Okay.
Even if they wouldn't call each other that, they're definitely cousins culturally.
Yeah. A bit of leading of similar sort of language.
Yeah, like the Mesoamerican culture. Before there was a border, they all crossed paths a lot more often. And
Yeah.
pre-American times.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it more on the west coast? Was it the Great Plains?
Who lived over there?
Yeah, more towards the Florida area, near the border. Because I remember reading about something called the... It was like a scary word mountains. I forgot what it's called. Bastard. Damn it. Forgot the damn word now. Oh well. Something called like the Scary Mountains or something. It was a fight between a Great Plains natives and I think it's the same one you're in, Meg.
Mm-hmm.
Navajo. I might be wrong.
I know... I'm trying to remember... Okay. The Navajo were originally... They were originally Apache. Well, they're still known as the Tine, but they became the Dine. They were seeking shelter with the Pueblo, one of the Pueblo tribes, and pretended basically to be them, and they became the Navajo as they kind of like... I believe it was with the Hopi, because they adopted a lot of their cultures and became a much more peaceful tribe. I think they were being hunted by the Kiowa.
I'm talking out my ass. I just realised it's in bloody Arizona. So,
well, I mean, we knew which nations you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's like a Great Plains tribe. I think that immigrated from Canada because they have a different language that's very different from the rest. But I can't remember. But off the top of my head, I'm a bit better with Canadian stuff. But anyway, forgive me. That was a tangent I didn't need to go on.
No worries.
All very informative.
I do love native stories. I've been listening to a fair few of them.
Speaking of which, at the bonus at the end, I might stick the Bunyip song in. It used to scare the daylights out of children. In fact, I might just send the video to Dean just to put it at the end, because the video that goes with it is chilling. And it was in a kid's cartoon.
Those are the best, though.
Yeah.
The traumatizing kid cartoons.
Yeah.
Kids are creepy.
It's based on the Indigenous Australian sort of Bunyip thing. But a lot of your dreaming stories and that were effectively... One of the things I have in South Australia is this thing called the Tilgebrookie Trail. We went on that when I was at school, and we followed it all the way down. And there's various bits like Tilgebrookie's son was killed. Where he was killed was at a cove, which is where you can get red ochre from. And they used to use red ochre to trade because it was used to make red paint. And there were numerous spots on the way where he stopped and wept, and that's where there are underground springs. So it's like a road map.
Wow.
And that's how they told their stories. But whereas the Bunyip story, we think might be referring to some prehistoric creatures, like big giant things. It's like, okay, stay away from them because they live near water and they'll chase after you and they'll get you. Because that's how a lot of it was all spoken word.
There's usually some sort
oral
of
tradition.
Folk memory in folklore stories.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, especially with things like, especially Native Americans, as like old tribal battles that happened like thousands of years ago. So it wouldn't surprise me if, I don't know the correct term for Australian natives, it would be the same, probably as some sort of animal from the Ice Age.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing people don't quite realise is that there were woolly mammoths around like 4,000 years ago. Like towards the end of like the Egyptian...
In Australia, there was like giant fauna, and you had a lot of that across the world. But some of the things here, like you think of some of your marsupials now that are smaller and that. I mean, you look at crocodiles; they're ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dinosaurs, basically.
Yeah.
If you ever seen Lake Placid, everyone should know that.
I wish I had. I know what you mean. I googled a load of questions to be dumb, and it's like, I can't want, and it's like the most stupidest question you could ask on a goth podcast. I'm just gonna do it, because I was looking up different questions, and it's like, would you ever go to a graveyard at night? And I'm asking goths this, and it's the most stupidest question you could fucking ask.
Yeah.
Would
The answer
I
is-
ever go to a
Would
graveyard
we?
at night? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
have.
it should be more, have you
same.
gone to a graveyard at night? Because the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Name 3 graveyards, pose.
I mean, some graveyards are less accessible than others. If you're talking like a gated
Unfortunately.
cemetery, that could be a bit harder. Though we managed to get into one once years ago before they really upped the security, and then when the security people saw us milling around, they told us to get out, which we did. But we were there to respect the place. But what we didn't know was a few months prior, some skinheads went in and were kicking over the Jewish graves.
Oh
They
my
do that
God.
here too.
They sure do.
Yeah.
It's
It's
horrible.
disgusting.
Whereas in Salisbury, near where I live, they have a couple of graveyards, one next to a church, and another one actually in like the town square, where there used to be a church a long time ago, but now it's sort of there and fenced off. So they lock it at night, but you can still see it from outside, and the graveyard next to the church isn't fenced off at all. You can just walk straight through.
The
So
Jewish
that's
graves,
nice, and that's only like, that's pretty close to my house.
the Jewish graves in Nottingham, they were broken into because they thought that there was gold in there.
Oh my
God.
God.
The Victorian ones. They were ashes, like ashes containers, but they were in the walls in the rock face because it's all built into the rocks in this certain one. We used to do that. We used to go down and drink and smoke and just talk in most graveyards in my hometown. I don't recall us being a particular problem. We did pick up our own shit and whatnot, not literally, drink glasses and whatnot. But
That
yeah,
was actually that was my first Halloween party with the public school kids after I had been homeschooled for a while. We went to a cemetery and we just hung out and smoked cigarettes because we were cool.
Hardcore goth.
yeah. The problem is that we didn't. Sometimes chavs would show up and you had to leave. You had to get out of there before they get to you. You had to
Chav's
sneak
gonna
away.
chav.
Chavs gonna be chavs, especially back then.
What is a chav?
A chav is like, it started like around the early 2000s. It was like someone stereotypically who is lower working class. They generally used to wear sports suits or Burberry, like checker patterns and stuff. Anyone who's different is, enemy number one. They mug people. They do be vandals, whatnot, and so basically the worst type of people.
They're
That's
a bit
what
like
a chav is.
football hooligans in a way.
Well, football hooligans
Kinda
are
like-
chav. So yeah,
Kind of like the preps over here.
I
Yeah,
don't know
prep-
because I thought a
Prep
prep is
school
someone.
kids.
I thought no, chavs are not like preps. Chavs
They're
are
a bit
like
like bogans in Australia,
Bogans.
though.
they're like
That said, they say every Australian's got a bit of bogan in them.
they come
I
they
can't lie.
they
I'm
come
not
from
going to deny that.
I'm not being a dick about it, but they come from like the lowest class of working and or unemployed.
Like housing
Well,
estates, things like that.
Yeah, council
Mhm.
houses. Not all of them are dickheads. You can still call someone a chav and they can be alright, but it was generally a derogatory
Billy
term.
Piper's a chav. They even
could call
talk
them
about
chav.
it in Doctor Who. Of, oh, great, she's a chav. Of her character.
I don't
So-
know if there's like a real direct equivalent to that here in the United States.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
not sure.
Yes, she does.
A hillbilly.
Yeah, but hillbillies are very
Redneck.
they're very distinct. Same with rednecks. Rednecks they're working class people, but they would never like be wearing like anything as nice as Burberry.
It
Like,
was
yeah.
fake, Burberry, it wasn't real. It was mostly sports equipment. Like the
Yeah,
more
and see, they don't really wear the.
You know,
They'll
it
wear
kind
basketball
of does.
shorts and like maybe like a Cardinal shirt. That's not like a sports jersey, you know.
It
I'm
really
gonna-
does kind of, when it comes to like the South and the Midwest, in like the country areas, the like country kids and the preps were pretty much one and the
This-
same.
Mm.
Almost.
I've dropped one in the chat, but I just realised Haven isn't in the Discord, so you probably have to send in the picture.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Megan
um,
refused
yeah.
to. Megan refused to invite me.
Oh,
yeah, you're not allowed.
secret cool.
Yeah, that's
Cool
pretty
kids
much
only.
what I'm picturing what's the ponytail thing called? A Chelsea facelift or whatever it's called.
Yeah, something like that. That's fucking hell, that's an old term. Sorry, you were on about rednecks or something.
Yeah, like rednecks and preps were kind of one and the same because a lot of the rednecks would be like public school football teams and things like that, and they would go around and either beat up animals or beat up people. So
I tell you what,
it's somewhat similar, probably dressed different.
You get some real interesting stories about those kids, especially with animals.
Ugh.
I've sent it you over Facebook, Haven.
Oh, okay.
Three!
That is interesting.
3 beers!
Those are tiny beers.
I know, it looks like I'm Andre the Giant holding a regular beer. That's why I'm going through them so fast. But these beers are cheap, and they're not bad.
They get the job done.
Yeah, they get they're foamy, and they come in a can.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
And they are, I think they're about 4.4% alcohol, which is not bad.
No, that's stronger than our beers, I think.
It's average here.
That's it's like 2% here.
Like
Really?
a
Average
here
beer.
is about 3 to 3.5, and a light would be, say, 2 to 3%.
A heavy, strong one in the UK would be like 8%.
Yeah,
Jesus.
things like sparkling ale here is about 8%.
Yeah.
No wonder everyone else
I
can
think
drink
it's
us under
5
the
or
table.
6. Your general lagers, though, are all about 4 to 5, depending on what you get.
Yeah. Haven was about to say.
So I'm looking at this photo, and I was just struck by a thought. I can't believe that I'm looking at somebody. This is an indigenous white person. This is basically what happens to white people when they're surrounded by literally nothing but white people.
I tell you what.
And that's jarring to me. This is jarring to me. I can't get over that. Ah!
It's kind of I'd probably say that could happen, but in the UK we're not really set by race in different areas. It does happen, but back at that time everyone was a lot more mixed living together, so I wouldn't say not quite really as racist. There is a lot of mixed couples with chavs, to be fair. I would say that's one thing I'd give them, to be fair. They're usually racist, but we're not.
Would you say that skinhead culture was a bit of a precursor to chavs? Because they had a lot of racial mixing too.
Which type of skinheads?
The original ones, which were a cross between your UK youth and your Jamaican sons and daughters of dock workers.
I don't really know.
Before they started getting involved with all the nationalist groups, things like that.
I don't really know too much about them, to be honest. Skinheads.
That's where a lot of the reggae and ska music they come from. It was people coming over from Jamaica sharing their music, and you had a lot of race mixing between the two.
Rude boy culture.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we used to call them rude boys back in the day, and, well, before that we used to call them townies. Yeah, townies and rude boys before that we called them chavs.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't really know too much about it. My
Would
family
mods
were
be a
more...
precursor to chavs?
Sorry?
We talk mods.
No, not at all.
They're a bit too far removed.
Mods are weird.
I'm talking like 60s.
That's a weird.
Beatles
That's a weird
inspired.
subculture.
Yeah.
But that could be
say,
very
my parents
similar
were more
to what
involved in
Rockabilly
the
was in the States.
Northern Soul.
Mm.
You know the Northern Soul subculture?
No.
That's what
The
my
soul-
parents were
The
doing.
Soul Boys.
Yeah, like it was the import of American black singers and bands with soul music. It's called Northern Soul subculture. So that's what they usually did. Apparently there was a way of dressing for it, and they used to put like chalk on the floor to skid around and stuff to dance in a certain way. But yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know much about it. But it did inspire some sort of copy type of bands in the north of the UK for that. So it's kind of interesting that goth also came from the north of the UK and all. So
And there
From the
are
industrial
some,
accounts.
like you look at bands like Bauhaus and that have got influences from all over. A lot of dub and things like that.
Yeah. They had like a lot of rude boy music that they really liked. Dub, reggae. I wanted to say there was something else that they were really into.
Rap.
Bauhaus, I mean.
Oh.
They took influences from everywhere. That's why a lot of those initial bands are so hard to peg into an exact genre. There was no... Like, from the 90s onwards, a band would be like, yeah, we want to make goth music. And so they do something along those lines because the structure already exists. But back then, there was no structure. They were inventing it.
That's why I say post-punk.
And that's
so
probably why they don't like being called goth as well, is because it can be a restrictive term. Which is what amazes me, that so many modern bands get so offended when people don't call them a goth band. It's like, why do you want to restrict yourself? Make the music you want to make.
Yeah.
If goths like it, fantastic.
Yeah.
But you're also opening yourself to other people to like it too. And that can only be good for the band.
Yeah.
Like, look at Molchak Doma.
Yeah. Let radio DJs and critics, categorize your music. You as the band don't need to do that.
Yeah. I agree
That's
with
not
that.
your job.
Generally, as long as you can hear the influence, it's going to be classed as goth anyway. As long as it sticks to one of those genres, it doesn't have to sound like all four of the genres.
And if it gets played in goth clubs and enough goths like it, it's still seen relevant. How's that not enough? Like, I've got an industrial music project and I wouldn't dare consider it goth because I know better, and if I did, the local elite would crucify me.
That's it. I'm gonna kick your ass. Then I'm gonna reenact kicking your ass.
Because, like, you know better, Joe. It's like, yeah, damn right I do.
Industrial.
Same thing when I was running my industrial night. I avoided the term goth like the plague, and it didn't hurt the event at all.
Is there much of an industrial scene in where you guys are? Because there's not one here. There's like one night that do it, but that's mixed in with cyber, and that's only like twice a year.
Were you asking us?
Yes, because I know Joe does it. It's just on about it.
Oh, I haven't run Cybermorph in about almost 5 years now. That was pre-COVID. Oh, speaking of which, we haven't done any updates on what we've been doing. We should get to that at some point. I've got many stories to tell.
Song first.
So I picked out a song by Wisteria, and they are a band out of LA. Kind of got like this kind of a dark wave, maybe synth pop kind of sound to them. I don't know much about them. There's not a whole lot online, but the song that I picked was Obsession. Why'd you send me the picture of the chav again?
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you had it already.
Oh, yeah. Dean sent it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get in so much trouble from doing all those stereotypes. I don't mean it to sound like judgmental, but it's just what it is.
Judging by the looks, I feel like I am right. It definitely looks like a preppy redneck kind of dude. But the girl looks like Y2K, like Snooki Jersey Shore kind of thing.
Yeah, it's from that time.
Yeah.
They've kind of died out a bit now. You can't really tell what a chav looks like nowadays. They kind of sync in with everybody else, but a lot of fake tan as well in the Essex area.
Mm-hmm.
You get different regional chavs as well, and well, let's not go there. Right, so we've done that song. Is that AI? Chavs in AI. What the fuck?
No.
Chavs on the moon. Some of you see them, but some of you won't. I'll find a good picture of chavs now.
Just keep sending pictures of them. The entire vacation, just get random pictures of chavs.
One every hour.
Like, what is this?
Chavs on the moon. It's not really the worst of the worst, I'm finding. There we go. There we fucking go. It's a beauty. And the fucking old haircuts as well. Sweet mother of 90s.
What?
Updates. Okay. Shall I go first? Because I have a few.
Yeah, go ahead.
Festival of Halloween happened, and you may recall me talking in previous episodes, or at least last episode, where we thought it was either going to be a Wonka experience or it would be amazing.
Where are the vampires and monsters and ghosts?
It was amazing.
Oh,
wow.
good.
It was fantastic.
Nice.
There's numerous photos I took before it even got started, because it was in this hall, and on the stage of the hall they had this giant inflatable pumpkin with, you know how you get those giant skeletons?
Yes.
They're like 10 feet tall. One of them on each side. Looked
Nice.
awesome. I'll have to send the photo to throw up here of it, because it just looked really cool. And the haunt was right next to it, and it went underneath the stage and out the other side. And of course I was working the door for that. They had this door that they'd hacked a bit out and wrote Red Rum across the front, and that was like a photo thing. There was
Nice.
numerous scare actors. One of the best ones I thought, though, was this lady who was in an outfit that was like a headless type thing. Everyone loved her. Everyone thought she was awesome. They didn't do a lot. They sort of wandered around and didn't really interact with someone. They just added to the atmosphere of the place. My daughter wanted to enter the costume competition. They ran one in the afternoon and in the morning. We missed them, unfortunately. I might flash up a photo of how I looked as the gatekeeper and Igor pushing her around in the wheelchair, because she had a bowl of candy and fidgets that we'd bought for the special sensory session. I'll start with being the gatekeeper on the haunt, because that was... we wanted to do it, but in the afternoon it was just too busy, so we couldn't do it, unfortunately. We should have taken one of the quiet times in the morning, because there were some quiet times where I could have gone, hey, we'll go through it and experience it for ourselves. Generally, though, people were just lining up to go in, a lot of young kids, and it was a mixed bag with the kids. There was one little girl that loved it so much she went twice.
No.
She just thought it was, she just loved it. She thought it was great. There were adults doing it that loved it and thought it was great too. And most of it, from what I could tell, it was pretty much just, it looked really creepy down there, and there were jump scares. So they weren't being chased or anything. There wasn't really the room for it. But people thought the haunt was done really well. But then you had the parents that thought they knew better and decided to take really young kids in there.
Oh, God.
Now, part of my job, and Ara was helping me too, which was really good, was to warn people and say, it's really scary in there. Are you sure your kid can handle it? There were numerous kids that couldn't even make it through and came straight out the door crying.
Looks at 4-year-old. Quit being a baby.
The worst of it, though, oh my god. There's this group, and the mother's there, and she's got this toddler in her arms who's asleep.
Oh!
And I said to her, there are jump scares, there's noise. I don't think your child will like it. And she's like, oh, she'll be fine. 1 minute later, she's coming out of the thing and the kid is screaming her head off. Who brings a sleeping child into a horde where there's yelling and screaming?
I'm awake, but the nightmares won't stop.
So,
mommy, the nightmares won't stop.
But the one thing that I sort of explained later when I talked to the organisers was we were getting a lot of feedback on it. A lot of the parents in the earlier session thought it wouldn't be as scary as it was. They thought it'd be something made for kids because overall they think Halloween is for kids and that. So I suggested next time what we should probably do is we do the haunt like that. That was fantastic. People that went loved it. But we also do like a walkthrough for the kids. But maybe with some twisted fairy tales or something like that. When I went to a Halloween event in Melbourne at Luna Park a couple of years ago, they did something like that. And while we thought it was lame, the kids would have loved it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it had a little bit of a creepy factor, but it wasn't like people jumping out trying to scare them. The kids would find it interesting.
Was there any
overall,
like
that went well. The gatekeeping did good. After about half an hour myself, and they had, like, I guess the best way you'd describe how he looked was like a voodoo man. He was like the guide, guiding the people through. So there was only really one group going through at a time. We had to restrict it to groups of 8. And by the end of it, we were working together really well. And he really liked that I sort of dressed the part and that, because I was the gatekeeper, he was the guide. So that aspect worked really well.
So was there any Karens, like, when the kids inevitably were screaming?
Not really. They didn't stick around. They sort of just went off. No one really yelled at me or anything. It was more a case of, oh, they'll be fine. Or, I mean, some kids chickened out when they realised how scary it was. And we sort of explained, you know, there are jump scares and that. They chickened out. It's like, that's fine. You go ahead, chicken out. Better than you chicken out now than go in and get traumatised.
Right.
A little bit of trauma's good, but only with
Arrow was
consent.
helping telling everyone too about it, saying it's scary, you may not want to go in there.
Damn, son.
But yeah, so that part went well, and then in the afternoon, of course, it was absolute chaos. The line went around the corner into the other section, which we'd planned for, but it never got that long with me. It was only as long as the length of the room at a couple of points. And all I had to do there was do a bit of crowd control, getting everyone to stay right up to the wall, because there wasn't much of a walkway to access the vendors, which were all in the middle. Speaking of which, I did buy something from a friend of mine.
The baddie.
My little bat buddy. You can even see the little earring on it.
Oh,
that's awesome. It was cool. Aww. It's always nice when you have a friend, you help them out. I'd seen a shop sort of doing things before. It was like, yeah, I finally get to check it out. Ara bought, like, they had these, there was a lady that was like doing spooky baking, and she bought these cookies off of her. They weren't cheap, but these cookies weighed a ton.
What?
And they were loaded
with butter or something?
They were loaded with caramel and chocolate, and they'd have like a caramello koala melted on the top.
That would do it.
And they were amazing. She got like 4 of them for $20 or something. So they weren't cheap, but it's the sort of thing that you get every now and then.
yeah.
And of course, she did the trick-or-treating and that. The sensory session, though, when I was wheeling around our... In the end, I wasn't doing the whole searching for master thing so much. It was more, I was like a Tor Johnson blank expression. Of course, you would go, Candy? take some candy. But the problem was, though,
Baby
in the
Ruth?
sensory session, there were like 4 kids. So we spent most of it offering candy to the vendors. Because once you did the 4 kids, and we were wandering around, and that we were the only ones wandering the floor, people thought it was great. There was a few times too when I was doing the gatekeeper thing that I actually did a floor walk because I had this sector club thing sort of slung over my shoulder, going, "Attention, enter if you dare," trying to spruik and get people to go through the horn. It worked a little bit when it was a bit quiet, but that was sort of what they wanted to do, is kind of get people going for it. They didn't have to do that in the afternoon session because people were just there. But it was weird because it was really busy for about 2 hours, and then suddenly everyone left. My guess is all the kids that were there had a 3-hour fuse, and the fuse just went.
Yeah.
But it was the sort of thing, though, that you could be there for an hour and a half, and you've pretty much seen everything. Which is fine. For a Halloween event like that, it's fine. People loved that we were doing something like that, because there hasn't really been anything like that in Adelaide. One guy even suggested we do it over 2 days. At a bigger venue, maybe, if we were to get that happening. Possibly, but for what it was, though, it was great. People loved it. They had a very positive experience.
Haven was going to say
Yeah,
something.
I spoke to one of the organisers, Stasia, and I said to her, when we were talking about this, you guys were still organising stuff, I was thinking this could possibly be another Wonka experience. And she's like, I was thinking exactly the same thing. And she was one of the organisers. But it just all came together beautifully, and yeah, I'll do it again next year for sure.
Nice.
The other update I have, though, looks like I'll be DJing at a gig on the weekend on Friday, and I only found out about that yesterday.
Nice.
Have you ever heard of a darkwave industrial band called Attrition?
I don't think I've heard of that one.
I've not heard of that one.
They're
no.
from the UK. They've been around since 1980 something.
Fucking ironic.
wow.
being
But they're
called
not. They're kind of. I thought their sound when I listened to a few songs of theirs, because they're not really on my radar that much. They even sort of go into dark ambient territory a little bit. But the other bands on the lineup, Subterranea from Canada, who are a dark ambient band. One of them's from Adelaide, and it's a band that I've been following since they started. I've been meaning to see. They're more of a post-punk band. And there's a darkwave band from New South Wales that are playing as well. So it's a pretty cool lineup, and it's the sort of thing we don't tend to see in Adelaide all that much. But that's on Friday night at the Metropolitan Hotel, the same place that does the City Record Club that I play at, which I'll be playing at in November. So, yeah, busy times.
bloody ironic being called Attrition, being from Coventry.
Yeah.
In case those who don't know, basically Coventry was flattened during World War II, so everything in the
Oh,
centre
wow.
is
That might
everything
be
in
where
the-
they get the name from.
everything in the centre of Coventry is brutalist. It's horrible. I hate that city. At least around the bus station. I ain't been much else, but it's disgusting. Like, I'm used to Nottingham. Nottingham is all Victorian stuff. Nice. Nicely built. I hate modern buildings. They look shit. Anyway, someone else
We do
update.
too.
Yep, definitely in the same camp as you on that one.
Not the,
Meanwhile, in
Okay,
Australia,
modern.
we pretty much have nothing but modern buildings, maybe some from the late 1800s. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of which, they were going to knock down my favourite hotel. We managed to save it.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Now they have to build the building around it.
Good.
Means the
wow.
pub will be shut for a couple of years, but they're going to move things to another venue, so we'll still have our alternate venue, because we've had a couple of others that have shut down. They're pretty much the last one standing for alternative punk, a bit of a goth history there. The first event I ever DJ'd was upstairs there, and I used to go there a lot when I first started out, so it means a lot to me. It's one of the few pubs in Adelaide that I actually feel comfortable in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Someone else want to do an update? If that's everything you've done, Joe?
Yeah, I'm good.
One of you two?
We're live in North Carolina right now.
Mm-hmm.
That where
Visiting.
South Park is? No, that's Colorado.
No, that's Colorado.
Other side.
Colorado's on the bucket list again. I've
He
been there.
doesn't know how to American.
I'm usually better than this.
I can see all the Americans listening going, how could you? Everyone knows America.
Fuck yeah!
What are you, bad at geography?
Name for 51 stage poser. Is it 51?
Yeah,
It's 50. It's 50.
50. Oh,
it's
see, I
50.
don't even know.
Fuck yeah!
California,
No!
Canada, Mexico, and the best state of all, Cuba.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the North Pole.
Laksa? No, sorry, that's a Thai soup.
Fuck yeah!
So we're over on the East Coast in North Carolina visiting my mom right now. That's been fun. Anyways, Megan, continue.
Yeah, I picked up a bird, which is I'm
Bird.
proud of because I'm kind of afraid of birds, so that was breaking a barrier for me. But yeah, and we went to a pumpkin patch today. We got pumpkin to carve, and we got candy apples that we're gonna eat later with the fam.
I see Haven has joined the cult of
And you were
pumpkin,
disappointed.
tending to
in
his flock
petting
earlier.
zoo.
I founded the cult
Yeah,
Cult of the Pumpkins.
over
No
here in the
petting
US. That
zoo.
is.
he's formed
Yeah,
a
there was
gore.
no petting zoo.
You could
But-
pet the
Form of
pumpkins.
I mean, yeah,
we pet quite a few of them trying to find the right one.
yeah.
She said to me, she went to the orchard and she said, I'm annoyed because there's no petting zoo. I'm like, you can't pet apples, Meg.
You could pet apples.
Well, you can, but they're not going to enjoy them, okay?
How do you know? Do
An
you speak
apple,
apple?
Well. I guess
Petting an apple right
Do
now.
they scream as they're made into cider?
Yeah, what's up, Paul?
I hope
We
so.
did have fresh apple cider. That was good as hell.
Yeah, hot apple cider, actually.
Yeah, hot
Excuse
apple
me
cider.
1 second. Four beers. Continue.
I had the ability for hot, hard apple cider. That'd be great.
Ooh.
Cheering.mp3.
Yeah. That's okay
Oh.
with no petting zoo, though, because
You need somewhere there that makes like honey mead or something. That'd
if
be
only we could
awesome.
have it.
We would never
We did-
leave if we could.
I love
We do have neateries around.
It's so
Maybe
easy to
not
make.
here, but I don't know.
I used to make it.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Cat! I see a cat.
Kitty.
This is Princess Pepper and Derpina III of Gloucestershire and Rutland. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
It is a kind of Lord Wiper.
Just a cat of Lord Wiper. We used to have Queen Kiki of McDonald's. And,
Aw.
yeah, but she passed away last year.
I have to
Meanwhile,
say,
We have a cat over
Meg
here named Fatty
has
Fatty
her
Dorfus.
otter hoodie on,
Yeah.
and it does
Yeah.
work. It works really well.
It's getting chillier here. The temperature is really weird here. It gets chilly in the morning, and then it's ridiculously hot kind of towards the afternoon. And then once it hits about 4 or 5, it's chilly again.
Yeah, the temperatures change very rapidly here. I don't know if it's because of the elevation or what, because we're like nestled right in Appalachia. The outsiders call it Appalachia.
Take me home to the place I belong.
We're not in West Virginia, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's Appalachia.
You need to play Wagon Wheel for it to be appropriate here.
It's I've seen it. It's a nice place. It's like very, very old mountain range.
Are there mountain men with big beards and bigger moonshine stills?
Let me stand up real tall and look. No, I don't see any.
No. You could have bought yourself some moonshine.
Oh god.
That would be fantastic.
I'm sure there are moonshiners out here somewhere.
Oh, definitely.
Aren't there like communities up in Appalachia that don't really see people like for ages?
They just live with bears.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It is pretty dead out here. Like, this is probably the most isolated I've ever seen people since I passed certain towns in Wyoming.
Is this the part of
let me turn my camera on real quick.
Where I put dueling banjos into the background?
You're outside. I can't see you because you'll have to talk, otherwise we can't see it. Keep talking.
What?
Keep talking. Got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
Let me see if I can unblur it here. No, so this is what it looks like out here.
Guess he just spilled his beer.
There you go. Get a nice shot of everything.
But
where
your
we
fucking
are.
garden.
Look at all these cars.
Yeah, those aren't the mom-in-laws. Those are Airbnb people's
pickup trucks.
How big is the garden?
That's not an American vehicle.
There's a pool here. But yeah, that's just kind of like a little like hedge garden that just kind of borders the pool.
Those cars ain't right, I'll tell you what.
And there's like a little fire pit over here. But yeah, this is the Airbnb that we're staying at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is all the owners' stuff, and we're over here in this little thing.
So you're staying in fancy Appalachia.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
We're only across the street from the mother-in-law, so it's nice.
Yeah.
We can go over.
That's more of a Texan thing, though, with King of the Hills. So
it is Texas. It's I forgot the name of the town.
What?
Arlen. They're doing the reboot for that soon. I'm looking forward to that.
The
more I watch King of the Hill, the more I can relate to Hank Hill as I get older.
Yep.
I think that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I too am surrounded by idiots.
It's a circus out there.
That's a modified propane tank, I tell you what.
I tell you what.
I love that King of the Hill is so universal. Because, I thought it was, mostly a big Americana kind of thing. But then, finding out you both, love to watch it, and more people outside the United States love watching it, too. It's yay! They all get it.
It's like,
Mike Judge is a genius. Even Idiocracy is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry Crews for president.
Just when I think you've said the stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
Haven
takes a shot. What now?
It's Haven's update. Am I right?
Yeah.
As Stone Cold would say, swig a beer for the working man.
Yeah. So since we last checked in, I had to have some dental work done, so I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I was before. And we're on a road trip. As Megan said, we're over in North Carolina right now. We're going to head down to Georgia next for Southern Gothic Festival. We don't really have a whole lot more.
You're going to get into a fiddle contest with the devil?
Yes.
Only if we find a hickory stump.
Ah.
Boys, let me tell you what.
I'm looking forward to the festival so much because the way they have it is basically there's like something called like a Halloween rumpus outside of the venue.
Yeah.
So there will be a bunch of like different Halloween stuff, and I don't really know what to expect.
Where are the vampires and monsters and ghosts?
But I think it'll be cool as hell.
I do have one other little update. We had a goth event that was invaded by masqueraders. That was interesting.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like getting a hen's party coming in and going, ooh!
Yeah, they were all gawkers. It was really awkward, and it made all of us goths feel like we were outside of our element in
You're in
our
a zoo.
own night.
Get out of my house!
Yeah.
I ain't
We
seen something
all
like
felt
that
like the odd
happen.
ones out.
I ain't seen
So-
something like that happen for like fucking 15 years. That's mad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens here a lot, unfortunately. It's just kind of people see
Yeah.
goth and they think, oh, this is going to be fun. We can dress up and whatever. And then they come in, they're just like, I don't like this music. How do you dance to it?
Shut the hell up.
I can tell ye a story about something that happened like that. When we were like 16, we used to go to the Students' Union because they used to do a rock night in my hometown. And there was a couple of guys who, they were alts, but they were knobheads. And like, we all used to,
I love that insult.
knobhead. Hotspots.
Fucking cunts.
Fucking cunt.
Fucking cunt. They all used to,
Hugh, Derek and Clive.
anyway, we were on the dance floor. Like, I don't know if you've been to many metal nights, but like back in the day, people used to form a circle and just windmill.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, I
dancing,
remember.
yeah. So that was happening. Everyone was windmilling, and the two dickheads like decided to like dance like complete twats in the center of us.
Good God, that's going too far.
The song was Korn, Here to Stay. So
Nice.
like during the breakdown, I went around to everybody in the pit while they were still fucking about in the circle, and I went, well, you'll see what happened. But it's the bit, you know, where the breakdown and it goes, bring it down. I was like, when the breakdown's over, everybody form a mosh pit, and they went fucking flying.
Oh shit.
No, and then everyone converged onto them, and like their drinks went flying. They fell on the floor. It was absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
Pricks,
no.
they deserved it.
You're in
Fucking
old
knobheads.
country now.
They're dickheads. They still are dickheads.
Wankers.
Hey, don't be getting all self-conscious about calling them knobheads. It's a great term.
Oh, when I used to run
Oh, not bad,
Cybermorph, the venue I ran it at.
Everyone should
It was
should
the
fucking take
perfect
that term.
venue because it was called the Bunker, and they even had like bunker doors that would open, and they kind of did it up so there was a bit like there was a dummy soldier lying in front of a campfire, and they had a couple of gun emplacements. Perfect place for an industrial event, but they were
Oh,
a
yeah.
sports bar. So what would sometimes happen when we were running in the other room is in the main area with the bar, you'd have your football fans watching Premier League matches. But what was funny was sometimes when it would happen, we'd be outside smoking and drinking. They'd come out too, and like one bloke one night, he's absolutely tanked. He's like, "Oh, my wife's an old punk. I love this stuff." So we never had an issue with it because a lot of them got it. Walking through there could get a bit awkward at times because some of them didn't, but a lot of the old guys were really cool with it.
I remember
I'm just-
one event.
I'm just picturing some guy just getting right in your face, be like, I love this shit.
Yeah, basically. It's like, I'm out there talking to them and stuff. It's like, oh, that's cool.
It's
The
like,
funny
whoa,
thing
man.
is sometimes they'd go and they just want to have a look, so they paid the $10 to get in. They go have a look and they go straight back to the game.
Yeah.
It's like, yay, we have your money.
Fucking weird. Oh well. Good.
But
It
they
happens to
didn't
us all
care.
the fucking time.
Yeah.
Mystic
They
was about.
didn't harass anyone though. I mean, a couple of people felt a bit uneasy. It's like, well, most of the time we wouldn't be sharing a venue, but sometimes we just happened to be, and it was never a problem. Oh, I didn't see it as an issue. I just said, people, just go straight through. They're not going to harass you. The bar staff knew who we were anyway, and they were keeping an eye on things, and we had a bouncer on the door, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Mystic.
They usually prefer making sure the regulars are okay versus
These
everybody
guys
else.
were
It
semi-regular. They were like the local club for the team,
Mhm.
and so they'd come there to watch the game on the big screen.
Yeah. Sometimes that's not how it works out, and it sucks.
Yeah.
We had a.
I
us,
think
but-
if it was anywhere else, they'd get a bit boisterous. But in Australia, it's not as bad. It's like I hear about some of the things happening with football matches in Europe and the UK, and it's like you got to fence the fans away from each other, otherwise they'll just kill each other. And it's like we have them mixed. The most you'll get is a little bit of sledging whenever your team's doing well and they're not, but then they'll give it back to you when their team's doing well and you're not. It's all in good fun.
Mate, it's worse than that. It goes, they have to be separated throughout the city. Right, even down to the train station.
Oh,
What?
so the police have got to separate them as they walk down as well. Bloody
It's
hell.
ridiculous.
Joe's turned into a half ghost on us. You're glowing.
I am.
If the light was coming from the other side, it would actually match the moonlight perfectly.
We are running over for a song. Whoever wants to go.
This is a cover, actually, from a Tom Waits cover called The Earth Died Screaming, and it is covered by the Bastard Fairies. They were like my favorite band when I was about 16. Lead singer's Indigenous. Unfortunately, she's not on this earth anymore. She passed away during the pandemic, I believe. And yeah, very sad. But her music's great, and the song is very haunting, as you will hear now.
Fruit is on the midway. Jacob's in the hole. Monkeys on the ladder. The devil shovels coal. The crow's as big as airplanes. The lion has 3 hands. And someone will lead
Okay.
Just wow.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
Okay. What do you guys think is the best Halloween movie?
Trick or Treat.
Ooh. Trick or Treat's perfect, but so is Halloween Season of the Witch. Halloween 3.
Isaac?
Oh, define Halloween movie.
Vibe.
I guess scary Halloween vibe.
Oh, I'll be honest, I don't really watch a lot of movies and categorize them like that, so...
You can say Beetlejuice.
Hocus Pocus.
Not The Craft. Bugger The Craft.
Shut the hell up.
Oh.
Well, I guess Beetlejuice is kind of Halloween. I don't know.
A
Charlie
bunch of
Brown
goth
and the
kids
Great
just went,
Pumpkin?
"Aw."
Fair enough. I'm gonna be so... You guys know what I'm gonna fucking say. You know what I'm gonna...
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a
That's my
Thanksgiving movie.
Oh, it's a Christmas
That's
movie
an
too.
Easter movie.
No, it's a Thanksgiving movie because it's like there's the nightmare at which Halloween happens in the beginning of the movie, but then the whole
Thanksgiving
middle.
is the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
The Easter Bunny's
Exactly.
Bunny.
Maybe somebody's in it for like a second.
Yeah, but
That's enough.
it happens on Christmas as well, so it's past Thanksgiving.
So
The
it's
best
Thanksgiving
Halloween
and
movie
Christmas movie.
Is
Okay,
the
okay.
Halloween episode of King of the Hill.
Yes.
Devil
Is that the
Hang.
band episode with the pig? Where the guy goes crazy?
Oh, Pygmalion, whatever it's called.
Yes, that...
that
is
one,
that the one?
yeah, that's not a Halloween one, but
Ah.
yeah, it counts, I'd say. It's definitely terrifying.
All the Treehouse of Horrors from the
Oh,
Simpsons.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, God,
absolutely.
yes. The episode, The Girl Who Slept Too Little. That's also a good one.
Mhm.
It's the one where they put the cemetery outside of Lisa's window. It's a great episode. The little to nothing to do with Halloween, but it's got the
Homer
Halloween
3.
vibe.
I think we all know that the scariest thing is going to a goth club that's been advertised and it doesn't play any goth music.
That's it. I'm gonna kick your ass. Then I'm gonna reenact kicking your ass.
Yeah.
Looking at you, St. Louis.
Oh.
Boy.
A lot of
Play what you
restaurants that
advertise, guys. Come on.
yeah.
A token cookie cutter song or two isn't enough.
We've
Well,
been
half the
getting
time they don't even get a DJ.
Well,
they
it's
just
like that meme that I
Exactly.
made
Spotify.
that really pisses rivetheads off. Goth DJs don't want to start an industrial event because they lose goth points. Rivetheads don't want to start a goth event because they think they already are.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. And
That,
if you don't,
that pissed off so many people on Twitter.
So,
it's true
It's like,
though.
it's true, it's funny, and it's a joke.
Mm.
Don't take it so hard, guys.
I should
and
probably...
It's not like a 24-inch phallus.
I think the other thing is the amount of rivet heads that just assume that every goth hates them.
No!
And it's like, no,
No.
it's not that.
Oh,
it's
the
just that
amount
your
of people
music
that looked at Elitist Joe and went, he hates this stuff. It's like, no, I run a friggin' industrial event.
Yeah,
The
I
only
play
difference between
industrial
me
songs.
and you is I know the difference.
I don't know why rivet heads are so sensitive about their music, because it's like the goths today. The only reason why we don't play it is just because industrial was so overrepresented for so freaking long.
Well,
and it's just like we just want our time. We want to listen to our music now. It's our turn. It's our turn. Okay.
And when
Until-
sort of darkwave and post-punk took over, then all the rivet heads complained because they were losing people at all their events.
Mhm.
It's like, and now industrial's beginning to come back.
Yeah. And
But it
that's
just waxes and wanes. It's fine.
I can't think of any industrial events near me in the UK. The only one they always get tied in with cyber, and they're rare. Cyber's died.
Cybermorph was pretty much tied in with cyber, and I did that on
Hmm.
purpose. But I also used to throw in a bit of stuff like Darkwave too. I just avoided the dreaded G word.
what about agrotech?
Oh, lots of agrotech. I love
agrotech.
that shit.
Oh, I'm not
Nice.
big on agrotech.
I'm not big on certain
Just on the side,
problem
though.
agritech bands, but there are plenty of agritech bands that aren't.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, five beers.
You did a party popper because your arm just faded in and then straight out as you did that.
If you don't
It
put
freaked me
a
the fuck
little
out.
bit at the end of this episode of you just like sequentially opening each can at the very end of this episode, I'll be very disappointed.
I could do that.
You
I'm
have
gonna
to do it.
I'm gonna cut
to do
in.
it.
I'm gonna cut in to be a dick. And I don't want to be a dick, but I'm gonna cut in to do the story so we get it out of the way, and then we can carry on with the other subject. So this is probably a very famous story. It's more like I'm gonna tell you instances that happened in this area. It's fucking scary to me. Okay, so this story takes place on a lonely road that goes into what is called the most haunted village in the UK, called Calverton. It's a downward twisting, narrow road overshadowed by trees, and where there is road meets a lay-by, and a walking track appears to be where most of the hauntings take place. So it's where a path meets a road, essentially, in a country road. It's going down a hill at the bottom of this hill. And this is back when I used to live at the asylum. That sounds like I was mental. No, it's an old asylum. Yes.
Is this
It was
one of those on a dark road on a dark
It literally is.
hill?
It literally is that. It literally is that. So I knew about this story.
There was a
before I made the
dark Dean who was dark terrified.
Well, it didn't actually happen to me. It's just a scary story that a lot of people know of, and it's the reason a lot of people avoid the area. So, even a taxi driver, when I was coming home from a night out, once said, "I'm glad you're stopping here because I probably would have refused to take you any further." And I said, "Why?" And he says, "Don't you know about the road where the ghost appears in the back of your car? It's further along this road." And I say, "Oh, it's next to here." And I didn't know it was this fucking close. I knew of the story. There's a similar one up near Sheffield, I think. Anyway, so a lot of people use it's the shortest way into the village, but people go around. So I'll read the extract. George's Hill is the hill you drive down just before you reach George Lane. The two are very close to each other and both have a similar ghostly tales. The main sighting of this stretch of road is a figure who dresses all in black. A local man, Mr. Lawrence Bardell, encountered the figure when returning home from the Goose Fair. It's a yearly thing, it's been going for a few hundred years, in the 1930s. He had reached the top of George's Hill and heard the village clock chime midnight. When, as he passed a gateway, something came out from the shadows at his side. It wore a long, large hat, under which he could not see any features except for a large hooked nose. Round its neck hung a large silver chain. Below that was nothing but a shapeless black mass. Mr. Bardell crossed to the other side of the road, but the figure followed him. Moving with a strange gliding motion, he began to walk faster. Then he broke into a run, but effortlessly the figure kept pace with him, and did so for nearly a quarter of a mile before leaving him by gliding away into the night. Mr. Bardell continued his run until he reached home, where he collapsed onto the sofa and was found by his brother-in-law the next morning. It was some time before he stopped shaking and was unable to describe his unnerving experience calmly. He was ill for several days afterwards. Many have speculated over the years that the figure he's seen must have been the Hat Man, quote unquote, and many believe
That's not a German word for lieutenant.
I got you.
Oh god.
And many believe that Mr. Bardell states that he seen that day can be compared to sightings of the Hat Man, as they have similarities in detail. And I agree they have, but obviously the biggest difference being is that those seeing him are not actually asleep this time. I guess that's a phenomenon. A local lady felt, when driving down George's Hill one night, looked at her rearview mirror to see a black-hatted figure sitting in the back of her car. It stayed with her for several seconds before vanishing, and a lady, in her panic, very nearly crashed her car. A young couple saw a black figure which fits the description of Mr. Bardill's phantom when driving down George's Hill in 1984. In 1992, a very strange occurrence happened to the villagers, Bill and Alison, when their car was entering the top of the Georges. Simultaneously, a Barton's bus was coming up the hill. Bill then looked up into the road and saw something very strange running between his car and the bus. He didn't say anything at first for fear of sounding stupid, but then Alison asked him if he'd seen what she had. What they both had seen was just a pair of legs wearing riding breeches, running across the road.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's actually quite common in the UK. It's kind of weird.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Runaway pants?
Yeah. It's like a... and it's not just... Wait till I tell you about the GIMP thing. Anyway.
What? What?
There's like a phenomenon in little villages around the UK where gimps just appear and start like jumping out at people at night in gimp suits.
It's like the clown epidemic.
Oh, what the fuck?
But gimps.
Yeah.
And
that's even more
pants.
terrifying.
Yeah.
But the running legs though it's like a crotch monster.
A what monster?
A crotch
What's it
monster.
after?
Crotch
What's it after?
Because it's obviously it'd be the legs, and it would have like the crotch if it's pants.
There's like a thing where when roads have been changed or basements have been moved to where there once were roads, there are like ghostly legs walking across them. It's more common than you think. There was one with
projections.
Kind of, yeah. And there was like one with like dancing shoes on top of a coal conveyor belt in a mine once. But anyway, moving on. Moving on, because I'm almost finished.
Ghosts are weird.
Yeah, right. And you thought British people were weird.
The GIMP thing is
Just wait till
real,
you hear
by
about
the
their
way. They're not ghosts. The GIMP thing is real, by the way. They're not ghosts. They got
the Shadow Man.
The recent one got banned, and I quote, from wriggling and writhing on the floor by the judge. Yeah, I've seen the video. There is a video of him, and he didn't get the reaction he expected, and then he just got bored and walked away. He was like, "Are you right, mate?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Do the gimps at least eat all your apples, steal your poop, and show you their fingers?
No, they're a bit of a
so they're not shadow men.
No,
no.
They just go out to scare. They go out to scare women.
China,
Classy.
I reckon they'd still be burned by the light.
That where
Remember,
American Horror
1,000
Story got
candle
its idea.
power.
Just keep a floodlight in your back pocket.
I'm referring to the bonus footage from last episode. My God.
You're welcome. George's Lane is a long, dark, windy, and unlit country lane where many accidents have taken place due to its conditions at the blind corners. Many people driving alone along this road in the dark often see, if they happen to glance in their rearview mirror, an old lady sitting in the back of the car. The dark-dressed figure is also at times been reported along with a woman sat on the side of the road crying. Here are two stories documented on websites. Sarah Meakin of Carlton, Nottingham, returned from Calverton after some babysitting to feel the car suddenly go cold on a warm summer's evening. Then she looked at her rearview mirror to see a black hooded figure which can only describe as looking like a monk. And that's literally, I don't know why it said two stories, but whatever. So, yeah, that's it. That
like
scared me.
a heap of
that fucking
different
scared
stories.
Yeah, they're
local legend.
They're all the same road, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
And they all appear in the back of your car. So, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck
There
that.
would be people
That's
deliberately
terrifying.
driving down there wanting it to happen, and it will never happen to them.
Probably. But where's the fun in
Yeah.
that?
Ugh. They only ever reveal themselves to the unsuspecting.
I do have one bonus.
Especially if they're
story,
gimps.
but it'll be very quickly. It'll be very quick later on.
Hang on, doesn't the
That's a
UK
person.
also have a bit of a thing with flashes?
Flashes?
You know, dirty old men in giant coats that go exposing themselves? Or is that like
Not
no
that I've
longer a
heard of.
thing?
Not that I've heard of for a long time.
I've been flashed once.
Really?
Mm-hmm. When I worked at a hotel.
I went
It
to
was
the
like-
Monty Python flash for Halloween one year with the boo sign around my neck. And the other side, just to mix it up a bit, I had the lyrics to the chorus of Never Gonna Give You Up.
Because of the trench coat in that music video,
Well,
yeah.
no, it was just to randomly rickroll people.
Well, I mean, either way, it works well because of a trench coat.
Yeah, that big leather trench coat I still have. I mean, it wasn't the right type of trench coat, but it did the job.
I'm sending you a picture of the most recent one in chat, and to be fair, he does look fucking scary. Did I post it?
Zoom chat?
I better have a look at
No, I sent you one in Facebook, and I sent the rest in Discord.
Okay, let's have a look. Alright,
My
He
real-
looks like something from Resident Evil 4.
It's the Shadow Man, but he hasn't got the spikes.
I sneak
Ugh.
and I creep.
That's American Horror
He could
Story
definitely
stuff.
show you his fingers.
I'm the Shadow Man.
Just be careful, he'll steal your poop.
I'm the Shadow Man. Look,
In the video, when he steals the guy's
I'm the
poop, he
Shadow
actually
Man.
regurgitates it.
Plunge the world into
Oh, that's lovely.
darkness.
I've sent another picture.
How else is he going to steal it? If he steals it out of his butt, he's wearing pants.
These things, this guy's still not as scary as the chavs that I was sent.
He looks like he's ready to party.
This dude looked like he just writhed out of somebody's ass.
Hey, buddy. I'm the colon dwarf.
God.
Okay, what's this other one? That's like the Raggedy Gimp.
Hard and feathered.
He's been like, he's seen some shit.
I make my abode just north of your commode.
Literally.
Literally.
He definitely steals your poop.
In your fanny.
Steals poops out of giants' asses, apparently.
I'm gonna jump all up in your tush.
Gets swallowed by the giant and becomes the poop.
Crawled right out of Gog and Magog's ass.
To think there's probably some Rule 34 of that sort of thing going on.
Get excited because it's gonna get weird.
Being swallowed by giants and pooped out.
I was always trying to find a song that band that ATAC doesn't fucking know. And like, I was like, oh, this band's great. I bet he doesn't know this one. I Google it. Fucking, I'm like, oh yeah, Reddit. First comment. Yeah, I met him. First comment 2 years ago. Yeah, I met the singer in a bar. I'm like, you fucking wanker.
You fucking cunt.
Like, if you want to know something, just look back throughout anything goth. There's something related to Joe by an article or a Reddit thread or something.
My tendrils run long and deep.
I'll give
It's
you
like
a
with
picture.
the obscura undead. I know so many people involved with it. Like, I knew Azzy when they first started DJing in Hawaii. I know Malik. Well, clearly I know Haven.
This
So-
is literally my. This was literally my reaction. I'm gonna.
Malik's
show
no
the-
longer involved, though.
Yeah.
I sent you the picture of how I literally reacted to that. Okay,
see.
so I'm gonna
Okay,
say
wait
the
a
song.
minute.
How many beers has it been?
It was on 5.
5. Okay.
Speaking of which. 6
Have you worked
beers!
out? Have you worked out what band it is yet?
Pretentious Moi?
Yes.
Yeah, I met Tim in a bar randomly in Melbourne.
Yeah.
No
So,
one even
the song-
planned for it. Like, Tim lives in the UK. He just happened to be in Melbourne the weekend
I know.
I was in Melbourne.
I know.
I was like,
the
holy
song-
crap!
The song is Pretentious Moi, Witch House.
Oh, yes!
bid welcome, stranger. From may I read your scars to were we sisters, trapped between the crumbling walls. Unpoisoned answers wished upon the stars I bore, but still they whisper, search and we still find dreams and the witch house. Sing for the last time, seem like you called out. Search and we still find dreams and the witch house. Raised in the half night, it seemed like you're calling out about. We take the hand and take the fall. We dance and dance and dance again. We take the hand and take the fall. We dance and still won't understand. This'll be the last time until the turning pass, where once we falter, still sipping turns the glass. That's all we wish for, lost behind the painted mask. A mind to wander, wreckage round our waking past. We're still to ask her, search and we still find dreams and the witch house. Sing for the last time, seem like you called out. Search and we still find dreams and the witch house. Raised in the half night, it seemed like you're calling out about. We take the hand and take the fall. We dance and dance and dance again. We take the hand and take the fall. We dance and still won't understand. This'll be the last time. Search and we still find dreams and the witch house. Sing for the last time, seem like you called out. Search and take the hand and we'll take the fall. We dance and dance and dance again. We take the hand and take the fall. We dance and still won't understand.
I can't believe that. I was like, fucking dick.
You are the most obnoxious, trumped-up, party little snakehead it has ever been my misfortune to encounter!
For somebody that doesn't get a lot of this stuff happening, it just happens. It's just amazing.
Only way to stump Joe is if it's a brand new band.
Yeah,
Even then, you don't
again,
always do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got to be like birthed suddenly before Joe gets there.
How good is your
Or else
death rock,
you'll be the
Joe?
goth with the wrath.
I think we should do.
How
a
good is my
back-to-back.
death rock? Not bad, but could be better.
Do you know
Someone
Fangs
should
on
do-
Fur?
Fangs on fur, of course I do.
Ah, that's what's up.
Saying it.
You know,
He's just
Slimy
saying it.
member.
He's just saying it. He's just saying it.
This needs to be like a game on the next podcast. If you can
Stump the
stump Joe.
Stump the Joe. Oh my God, we should. That'd be great.
Stump the Joe.
Someone
Next
should-
managed to do it, but that was with stuff that wasn't exactly on genre with goth. But
Someone should do one song
I
now.
do cover industrial stuff too, though, so I generally try and keep on that. But I haven't been that much recently because I'm being a bit slack. When you're not running an industrial event, you kind of slack off a little.
Yeah.
Someone should do another song now to keep back to back, and then it works out fairly.
Oh, I haven't done one yet. Oh no, I did do one. I can do
one.
another.
Yeah, just do one now. So you can
All
fit
right,
it in.
I would just to make things fun. I'm going to do something that was only released about 10 days ago. Now, this
You
was
stop.
actually shown to me by Dead Death Rocker, who is one of the other moderators that I work with on Reddit. And she does a lot of the planning for the new release stuff that we put out on the lists and that. And she found this. It's not goth, but so I can't put it on the list. But I know this is the sort of weird shit that you like, Joe. And the band's name is Liquid Land, and the song is called A Sick King on a Hallowed Throne. They're a post-punk new wave project from Lisbon in Portugal. A solo project by Pedro Morquigo, I think the name is. He's from the band Phantom Vision. Yeah, it was released for a little over a week ago, and I happen to hold the honour of being the first person to buy it on Bandcamp. Here we go. That was the thing.
I like it.
Interesting.
Joe, stop liking weird music, damn it.
Now you listen to me, mister.
Used to it now. There's always something so.
I think I'm
weird.
beginning to lose my coherency. And this is a good thing.
Just keep
Okay.
getting weirder.
What would you
Weirdness
say is,
intensifies.
what is your favorite scary book?
Scary book.
Scary book.
Hmm.
Scary book.
That's a hard one because I haven't read horror books in a long time.
About.
About
A booth.
What is the book?
It's about
booth?
time. It's about time.
What
I mean,
is the book?
I have my standby.
That's almost that's almost Canadian.
A booth.
What is it? A booth. Well, it could be Scottish.
Glasgow, kind
Welsh.
of. Yeah.
Welsh.
A boot. No, Wales is
Oh,
nice.
boy,
so
do Welsh people get pissed off when you accidentally call them English.
Welsh.
Oh, hell yeah,
people
they do.
sound Really happy. Really
That's
happy.
like if you
to
call
be Welsh.
Canadian American, they get annoyed at that
Really
too.
about.
But that said, New Zealanders also get annoyed if you call them Australian.
What about South Africans?
You just call me a Kiwi.
That was pretty good.
I'm not a bloody Kiwi, that's bollocks.
Bollocks to you.
I'm not going
I was
to
gonna do
use
a
the slur
certain-
that tends to be used for Kiwis. That is
I was gonna
sometimes
do an
used for
impression.
Australians.
I was going to do an
Or
impression
shall
of
I?
a certain
You want to hear the slur?
Kiwi YouTuber.
Some of them
but
are
I'm-
kind of British as well.
Kiwi
Sheep
bird
fuckers.
or Kiwi YouTube.
They're like sheep fuckers in every country of the world.
Gee,
I mean, if you're out on a farm and all you've got is sheep, what else is there?
That's what they say about Welsh.
Yeah, exactly. Every country has sheep fuckers.
It's what we say about people from Derby, and they're next to us. But their icon is a ram, so.
Are there sheep fuckers in America?
Yes, actually,
Oh,
I was just
yeah.
about to say this. The freaking the weird preppy farm kids. People used to always say that they were sheep fuckers.
There you go.
Yeah.
I kid you
Dean.
not.
Hey, Dean. You're going to have fun tagging this in the chapters.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Sheep fuckers.
Sheep fuckers.
Sheep.
I'm up
lovers.
here in Westchester, PA, and I'm looking at all these sheep fuckers.
Are they drinking
my God.
cider?
I wonder what the Airbnb lady's probably thinking right now, hearing me just yelling sheep fuckers. outside.
Sheep fuckers.
I know. Back to
I'm not
back
being exactly
to
quiet.
the original question.
Yeah.
Well, that was a tangent.
Yeah. Best scary book, now that I've thought about it more, is for me it's on Stephen King's Under the Dome. That's a really good one.
Right. I have no idea what it's about.
It's really good. It's basically you know, The Mist, where everybody's
Yeah.
kind of stuck in a store. Instead of that, it's a gigantic dome that covers the entire town. It's basically like the Simpsons movie, except it's a lot more horrifying, and Stephen King did a lot of research into it, and you can tell. And usually those are his best books, are the ones that he actually researches into and doesn't shit out in like a day.
But
He shit out a lot of books in his time.
He really has. He still does.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for a writer.
Yeah.
And most of them are hits, I guess.
anybody
Yeah.
else?
Depends.
Favourite. It's a book I had when I was a kid called Enthralling Tales. I got it off my grandfather. It was just one of those anthology type things. And it had a mix of stories. Some of them were scary, some of them were not. One of them that was in there was The Mask of the Red Death, which is one hell of a story. It also had a picture of Dorian Gray in there as well. So it was a really good mix. But the scariest one would have been a story called Newell, which was about a newel post at the end of a stairway that would come to life and walk up the stairs. Especially after the kid put like this Halloween princess hat on it. It was kind of creepy. But if we're going to talk horror books, though, when I was, I would have been about 15, we were doing a road trip to Coober Pedy and back. And on the way, we stopped by this, effectively a petrol station or whatever, and they had like a used books section. And I found this book called Eat Them Alive by a writer named Pierce Nace. I've lost my copy of this book. I read it about 3 or 4 times. I loved it. When we did a year 12 English thing, where my theme between the 3 different books was revenge, it was one of the books I covered. Even though the teachers didn't really like it because it was a horror book. But it's basically about this guy. He was tortured by his friends when he was younger, and they castrated him. And he is living on this island just trying to get by, and there's an earthquake, and the earth splits open, and these giant mantis creatures come out and start eating people. And so he realizes, hey, if I could train these mantis creatures, I could use them to be my tool for revenge. So he learns a way to train them and put this poison stuff on them so they won't eat him. And eventually he starts going around with a group of them. And then one of the mantises he calls Slayer. And it's got like a red patch on its head. And it's bigger than all the others. It's kind of like the de facto leader. And so he goes to the different people and the people that wronged him and, mutilated him and cut his nuts off and basically has the mantises eat their families in front of them and then finally eat them. Until he finally gets to a point where he thinks he's enacted his revenge. The problem is, one of the families, one of the kids survives and finds on a different island, an island of mantises, except all of them are the ones with the red patch on the head. And he comes looking for him for revenge. And in the end, though, he dies because Slayer tries to eat him. But he's happy in death because he got his revenge, and if he's going to die, he'd rather die by his own best buddy, who he kills as well. So it's kind of a weird ending, but as a 15-year-old, it's like, I could just see this as a bad 50s, 60s horror movie with terrible effects and rubber suits and all that. Yeah. And it was just, wow. That's been one of my favourite horror books since. And it's like, I'd love to find a copy of that again, but it was just this cheap little paperback I bought for like $2.
Those are always the rare gems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven?
I have some books that I've read. I mean, I could say like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, but like I've also been reading a lot of graphic novels and manga too, and one of them that really stuck with me was this one called The Drifting Classroom. That was pretty wild. It was written by Kazuo Mez, but it's about this little kid that is in this classroom that vanishes into like a parallel universe where it's like, I don't know, it's like millions of years into the future, and like the whole world is like overrun by like giant bugs and like all this other stuff, and these are basically like all like grade schoolers that are trying to survive in this insane environment and trying to figure out a way to get back home. But it was pretty good. It had a kind of unsatisfying conclusion though, but it's pretty good. It's got some pretty intense horror in it here and there.
So it's like Lord of the Flies plus a horror element.
Yeah, plus some sci-fi horror.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, generally, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of compilations of ghost stories. Like, like Wanted X, Y, or Z. I think one of the most scary ones, it's a true story actually. It was one where they find people bricked up in walls.
Ooh.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an Edgar Allan Poe story.
Well,
yeah,
this
Casco
one
Amontillado.
Like in a hall, they were doing renovations, and they just knocked down a wall, and she was sat in a chair. So that was quite bad.
Good God.
The other ones, it's quite common in the medieval era to do that. It's a form of punishment. I mean, there was like ones that they would do to bless bridges that had been just built by putting a cat inside of it. Not as uncommon as you think, and in a lot of old British houses, like really old ones, I'm talking like 500, 600 years old, you'd find cats in the walls because they put them in there to bless the house as a sacrifice.
That's so sad.
Yeah,
Our friend telling me about this not too long ago, actually. Andy.
That's like when they have those ships being built and they find corpses in them of workers that fell.
You just reminded me of one of the. Yeah, you just reminded me of the two riveters that were found in the. What was it? It was
Queen Mary.
Brunel's. It was Brunel's ship. It was the only one he built. It was a massive one. God, I don't really look it up.
Cursed ships.
Yeah, but the other one would be ghost ships. I really like to read about ghost ships, like especially ones that get trapped in ice, because there's lots of scary shit that happens with the people who try and survive that stuff. Whose was it? It's not Shackleton's, but that's a really good story. They actually all survive amazingly.
You ever seen the movie Ghost Ship?
Which one?
So everyone's like, I love the beginning of
There's
Ghost
the
Ship.
80s one, and there's a remake later on.
That's
The remake.
The remake, yeah, those early scenes are just whoa.
Yeah,
Best
everyone
opening.
loves the opening of Ghost Ship.
Great opening, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, my favourite book when I was a kid was, if you want to be an actual one subject, was Ghost Camp by, it's a Goosebumps book.
I was going to say, you'd probably
love
pick something
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. They were a
I just
little bit
remember
after my time.
How satisfying is it to look at the cover? You get lost in it because it's just all that ooze, and it's like they're 3D kind of, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
I
the
remember
colours
seeing
were,
them like
really-
Enthralling Tales. I got that when I was like 10.
the
So that
colours
would
of
have been
ooze
the
was, like,
equivalent,
really
but a little
satisfying.
bit beforehand.
Yeah. But like, if you look at the ooze on the book for us, it was like really satisfying to look at. Maybe
Yeah.
Especially for kids.
The art was really, really good on the covers, too.
It
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah.
Some of those
They
choose
definitely
your
knew
own
how to draw
adventure
kids
books
in.
could get a bit horrific.
This is true.
Like, you're dead, but I'm going to give you a half-page description of how it happened.
Oh, the Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah. Like one of the ones where you die in
It was,
quicksand and the
sorry.
last three words are just glub, glub, glub.
It was the SS Great Britain. For anyone who wants to look it up.
Ah.
It reminds me of there's like a short horror series that was called The Terror that was all about an icebreaker ship that got stranded I think it was in the Arctic, like up by Canada.
So that's a true story.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a really intense one.
The movie Dust Boot can be pretty terrifying at times.
Yeah, if you're claustrophobic, for sure.
Well, not just that, they're just floating there knowing that the boats are above, dropping depth charges. And it's like, oh shit, are we... Because you're basically blind.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're
then the end of the
referring
movie, just like, that's one of the ones that makes you want to throw your TV.
You're referring to the HMS Hera and Erebus.
Yes. Really
Expedition.
surprisingly, I don't know, apt names for their fate.
Yeah. It's quite bad. It's really... Because what happened was they were trying to get back. They decided to walk from North Canada to try and get through Canada to safety from the Northwest Passage, where they were trying to find, which is to go above America. To go above the continent of America to get around the other side to make the journey shorter, but they didn't survive. And the only way they found out was the people who went looking for them were asking the natives, and they were saying, yeah, we tried to help them, but we didn't have enough for ourselves. So that's generally it's a lot like the story of the Oregon Trail, the doomed expedition of that lot to California. You know which one I'm on about?
Mm-hmm.
I hate that fucking story. It's so sad.
There are so many horrific maritime
Donna Party.
tales and shipwrecks and all that.
The Donna Party, I think it's called.
Yeah.
God, I'm looking at like R.L. Stein's bibliography. God, there's so many. Like beyond Goosebumps, even. Like, yeah, there's Goosebumps and Fear Street, but then there's like even more than that. It's insane.
In this series 2000s books.
Yeah. Let me see. I wanna look at how many. Wrote something called Space Cadets. That was only 3 books, and then Goosebumps.
It was terrible.
Goosebumps as a whole, not counting the pick your own story ones, 62 books in total.
I wonder how many of those he wrote before, like he just started like releasing
fun
Goosebumps.
fact about R.L. Stein: he wrote the book adaptation to the movie Spaceballs.
Really?
Yep.
What?
That's awesome.
Of course, changed the word assholes to idiots and things like that. I read it when I was younger. It's like, you're supposed to say assholes.
Keep firing, assholes.
No, sir, I didn't see you playing with your dolls again, sir. I've got to do some sort of thing like that with action figures or something at some point, just for shits and giggles.
I'm trying to find a specific R.L. Stein book that I read, and it featured werewolves, of course, but it also had like Native American characters in it, and I actually really liked it. Oh, it was cool as shit.
It is getting cold out here. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, we might want to end soonish, because we still got fun things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fall activities.
Campfires and the like.
Night.
Mm.
Setting fires and shit. You know,
Making s'mores.
Ah, that's it.
S'mores?
It was a Fear Street book. Heart of the Hunter. That's what it was called. That was my favorite. Absolutely loved it.
R.L. Stein was all trying his best wide interpretation of Native American people.
It's actually not that insulting.
Yeah.
I remember reading it thinking, oh god, is this going to be like really bad? And it really isn't. Basically what happens is this boy who lives in, he's just a regular white boy with some campers. I don't remember. It's like Pilgrim Days or Western Days. And they're on a wagon trail, and there's this girl that has a crush on him that's also traveling with them, and he fucking hates her ass. And he winds up they end up getting raided by a Native American tribe, and they adopt him basically into their own, and he falls in love with a girl. Well, during this raid, they were all attacked by I need to go back. They were all attacked by a wolf, and he got bit. So of course, werewolf. His family was killed, and then he got adopted by a Native American tribe, and he fell in love with a girl in the tribe. But then he was slowly starting to become a werewolf.
Why is it always werewolves with Native Americans?
I don't know, but at least the werewolves weren't. At least the Native Americans weren't werewolves. So
this time,
but he ends up accidentally killing her. And it's like really heartbreaking because he really loved her. And then he tries to find his, basically the trail where all the other white people were white families that he was traveling with. And he sees the girl again that he couldn't stand. And she winds up trapping him in his werewolf form and basically forcing him to be with her.
Sorry.
That sounds horrible. So he kills a native girl, runs off, goes back to this horrible white girl, and then
he doesn't
trapped.
He doesn't purposely go back to her. He actually sneaks in there to try and get food, basically. So, because he didn't want to kill anybody else in the native tribe because he was starting to think of them as family. And he, of course, was like in absolute guilt for killing like the love of his life. That's when he gets trapped by that fucking girl, and that's how it ends. And it's really
becomes her pet dog.
Pretty much, yeah. It's really fucking sad.
This sounds like it's an allegory, but they weren't quite sure what they wanted it to be an allegory for.
I don't know, but it wasn't that bad, and I actually really liked it when I read it.
Don't get close to native people. You'll only hurt them if you're white.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that the moral?
Something to that effect, it seems.
Fuck me.
Just be a loyal dog to the white people. Oh
no.
God.
Could be the other way around.
That's fucking tickled me.
There's always something weird like that, though. Anytime that white people try to write, there's always some sort of heavy guilt to it.
Yeah.
I hate the ones who try and talk about legends, and when I hear them talking about it, I don't know if they're speaking out their arse. If it's a white person to native stuff. It's half the shit about Sasquatches is just bullshit. All they've done is they've taken every fucking thing from every native culture and put it into one animal, and now it's a Sasquatch. It's like they're taking ones from I don't know, I'd have to fucking think about it. But they've literally combined all of these ancient, old, wise men of the forest and made them all into just one beast. And then when someone tells them, oh, native people didn't have a legend for that exact thing, anything like that, it didn't appear like that. And they're like, no, we know better. It's like, shut the fuck up.
You should look into the legend of the Piasaw bird. It wasn't even originally a bird.
What, the Thunderbird?
Thunderbird's a completely different thing. This was actually supposed to be the exact opposite of the Thunderbird, and yet they turned it into this weird, dragon-like chimera creature, and it wasn't even like that. It was supposed to be an aquatic water panther, which is the opposite force of the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird rules the land and the sky above it, and the water panther rules the waters and the lands below.
I hate the interpretation of the Thunderbird in J.K. Rowling's other movie series, the Fantastic Beasts bullshit.
Yeah.
Not how it's supposed to be at all. It's basically a griffin in that series, and it's no, it's literally a goddamn thundercloud shaped like an eagle.
And it's supposed to be massive, I think.
Yeah, it's supposed to be massive, and there is no way in hell some white British magician is going to catch that and tame it to where he can ride it.
It's not a Pokemon.
It's not a Pokemon. British just think all native cryptids are Pokemon.
Sasquatch, go.
Or Haven thought they saw a Sasquatch last night.
Something. That was weird. That was really weird. We were going out to the Airbnb, and I just heard this weird rustling in the woods behind our place, and I stopped and I looked out there, and I saw this weird shadow, and it literally looked like a shadow of a head and some shoulders, and I was like, hell no, and I just kept walking.
Oh god.
I went back out there after I think it was 2 or 3 minutes with a flashlight and was looking around. I was like, come the fuck on. And there's this I didn't see anything, but
I thought it'd be more like the Woods monster or something. Or
no, there's Bigfoot sightings or Sasquatch sightings pretty much all across the United States. Pretty much limited mostly to the northern areas, but all along the East Coast to the Canadian borders, parts of Missouri and Illinois. And then it's mostly North Dakota, Montana, and all along the coasts of California. But yeah, they're pretty much all opposed. They're ubiquitous here, pretty much.
What about like Mothman or not Mothman? There's another one that's similar to Mothman. Anyway, I'm not sure where Mothman is. I forget. Isn't that somewhere around there?
I
think that's on the East Coast somewhere.
Yeah. I don't remember where. My favorite's the Squonk.
The Squonk, is that the ugly one?
Yeah, the ugly one that cries, and if it sees itself or someone sees it, it just bursts into tears. Like, it literally explodes.
You just want to pet it and look after it.
Just turns into a puddle of tears. It's so ugly that it died.
Have you heard about Bat Squatch? It's the new goth code. It's the new goth code cryptid that just dropped. It's a Bat Sasquatch.
Bat Squatch.
Hardcore goth.
Bat Squatch.
Bat Squatch.
And there's the Stank Squatch. The Stank Squatch.
Duh, what you think it was? Doesn't every city have a big ass pyramid by the mud? Yeah, some people wipe their eyes because they think that they're on drugs. But they're really at the best place to shop. It's our Bass Pro Shop.
Dave, I think we've got something in Missouri. It's called the skunk ape.
Oh yeah, I've heard of the skunk ape.
Yeah, that's basically the stinky Sasquatch. He doesn't shower.
Yeah. Like, it's called like Momo or something.
Yeah.
I love how somehow Mega still managed to complain about something being smelly in a podcast. Every podcast. Every fucking podcast.
Where are you, Stinky? Take a shower. You're stinky.
What did I say was stinky this time?
Stank Squatch.
It's our Bass Pro Shop.
Oh, Stink Squatch? I didn't
Skunk
say
ape.
that.
Skunk ape. Somehow it's come up again.
Yeah, that's Momo.
Yep.
Okay.
He's like the Mothman ape.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the
Speaking
Bat
of, that looks a lot like Mothman.
Mm-hmm. He's only slightly terrifying looking.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that walking across the frickin' across the road in front of your car at like 3 a.m.?
Sorry. Fuck that. I mean, we do have cryptids, but they're like really old. It's like one's like a torso attached to a horse's body, like a dead horse and half a dead body attached to it. It's like a Celtic myth, and there's like the Gilly man, which is a nice one who finds lost children and takes them home. It's where the ghillie suit comes from. He's covered in plants.
Oh.
Sorry that
There's
took
like
so long.
Story of Black Annis. It's wild, like steals children through windows at night, which is why a load of them are in older houses have small windows in Leicestershire. Which is, yeah, it's little things like that.
So, I think we can talk about one more topic, and then we gotta get going.
Okay. Shall I say my last story, but it'll be a quick one?
Yeah.
2 minutes. Okay. This one's my personal one.
I've still got my story to go too, but we can save that till after they go if need be.
I forgot about that. I thought we'd done yours.
That's alright. No, it's okay. We can save it.
Okay.
If Meg and Haven need to go, I can do mine then. That way when they listen, it'll be a surprise.
Yeah.
But first, 7 beers!
So, I was like 6, maybe 8 years old, and I used to keep my hamster on it was a glass cage, like kind of like the old ones, like in the 90s. They're like kind of like a tank. That's like, irrelevant. But yeah, I kept it. There's like my bed lengthways, and then there was like a drawer, like a chest of drawers at the end of the bed. And I used to keep my hamster on top of that. And it had recently died. So about a week later, I wake up in the middle of the night. It's standing on It's standing on top of the chest of drawers. The glass cabinet had been moved. Sorry, the glass cage was long gone, been taken into storage, didn't need it anymore. But the hamster's fucking standing there on the chest of drawers, and I'm sat there and fucking terrified, and I'm just shitting myself. And I'm literally just frozen in fear. All right, for ages, I'm just not taking my eyes off it, and I'm just staring and staring and staring. And then I realised it was one of those little capsule Pikachus.
Oh no!
You know how they come in those little capsules, and it's like the Pikachu's like standing, like a dog would on your legs.
Yeah, like little gotcha characters.
Yeah, so it's literally like a hamster when it's holding a piece of food. Like,
how'd you get up there?
Oh no, you've come to seek revenge.
Yeah.
Pika Screw!
Pika Screw just come to show me my Christmas.
I'm gonna teach you why you shouldn't keep little animals in cages. Oh Lord!
All right.
There is a song that we can throw in now. It is due.
Yep.
So if anyone wants to fight for it, someone take it.
Well, I've got another one.
Go for it. You got a guess.
This one is by Black Marble. So I'm pretty sure most everybody listening is probably familiar with Black Marble. They've been around since like 2011, I believe. They are out of Brooklyn. And this is Cruel Summer.
Cruel summer.
Always hits the spot. I like that song.
Mm.
That whole album's great, actually.
Sounds like
But,
it.
So, for you guys, what would be the perfect Halloween? If you had no budget and you could do anything, what would it be?
Honestly, I would go back to my hometown because their Halloweens were always the best. And I would like Haven to experience that too because it was like the one time a year all the religious fanatics in my hometown would take a break and actually enjoy Halloween and celebrate it how it's supposed to be celebrated. And like the whole town, like a lot of places now, they stop trick-or-treating around 6 o'clock, which boring. We were up until midnight. It didn't matter if it was a school night or not.
Damn.
And we would get, like, some kids would go around and get the pails of candy. If you were older and your parents allowed to, you could get 2 pillowcases full of candy by the end of the night. It was
the good old days.
Yeah, it was a fantastic time. And like I said, like, you know, once you became a teenager, you could like go to the cemetery and smoke with your friends. And
So spoopy.
my mom said when they first moved there was a guy just riding down the street on a horse, butt naked. He was dressed as the one painting of the naked lady on the horse.
Lady Godiva.
Godiva.
Yeah, Lady Godiva. Yeah, he was dressed as her. Had a long wig and everything. And it was like, it's like so weird and like night and day in that town. It's just that one night they're like, let's just sin like crazy.
Let's just be weird.
Fuck it. Yeah, let's just be weird.
Get excited because it's gonna get weird.
Did you live in the Crow movie? Are you from the Crow
Get
town?
excited, it's gonna get weird.
Yep.
I gotta splice that in.
It's Devil's Night.
Take me in, Halloween, to the place I have been.
Yeah, fuck the trunk or treating and all that bullshit.
Trunk or treating?
Trunk or treating? I think
Is that like when you have like trick or treating at like a car yard?
Yeah,
basically
or a tailgate party, I guess you'd call it in the States.
Yeah, everybody parks their cars, opens their trunks. Sometimes they decorate them, and then they just they hand out
all
candy
the fun out of it.
right there. Takes all the fun.
Overly concerned helicopter parenting, just like crystallized.
Where are the vampires and monsters and ghosts?
To the max. Like
we have trick or treating at home.
So what do they do? They just look at each other's cars and go and get fucking candy. Sweets.
Yeah, I just made that up. That's
they
a
go
real
car to car.
thing.
Yeah, trunk or treating. It's so stupid. It is supposed to be safe.
It doesn't
like supposed to be
surprise
like
me.
it's supposed to be safer for the children. This is the thing that pisses us off though. Every year there's like some sort of like fucking copy pasta that goes around on Facebook talking about like check your children's candy. There has never been a single
It's going to be
case.
razor blade. Oh, that's something I didn't mention from earlier. When we were at the Festival of Halloween, Ara bought a Halloween show bag. In it, they had a small packet of candy corn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've never tried this stuff in our lives.
Oh, wow.
That is the worst candy I've ever eaten.
How dare you? You take it back. You take
I've
that
never
back.
tried
It is all like fructose syrup. It is awful.
That is a
Ara
blessing that
hated
made it all the way down to
hated
Australia.
it. My son
How
Jalen's
dare
like,
you.
this stuff's really good.
How
like,
dare you?
what?
Yeah, there you go.
I've never had one. I've never had candy
We've never
corn.
had it before either. It's like, okay, this is cool that's in here. It's like,
Not a thing,
I tried one piece, it's like, ugh! I ate it still, but it's like, this is terrible. How could
Now you've tasted true
Now I
Halloween.
know the meme of why it's the worst candy.
I've heard American like sweets and chocolate tastes really bad compared to Europe to ours.
Oh yeah, it's super cheap. Like you can use
Chocolate,
it for some
yes.
stuff, but yeah.
Not all the candy though. Not all the candy is bad.
Oh, that was
Okay.
the other thing. We've finally seen Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah.
And it was actually a free screening by one of the exhibitors that was at the Festival of Halloween.
Nice.
And when they went, they had lots of. You probably don't get Chupa Chups where you are. They're like these like round lollipops.
Yeah,
So
they're
I
Mexican.
grabbed a couple of handfuls of the things, and when I got home, I sort of distributed them out amongst everyone. I've still got a few sitting in my drawer because they're nice. But
They're very good.
Beetlejuice, great movie, fantastic, loved it.
Now we
Gonna
gotta
say
see
a
it.
Few
But-
things that were like, meh, but overall though, yeah.
Ugh.
I think when Dean explained it last time, he sort of said it was heavier on the lore. I didn't see it that way. I saw it more as they explained what they needed to explain and nothing more. It was all relevant to the plot.
Well, that's
Which
just
I
doing
guess
it well.
is still lore. They're doing it well, yeah. I mean, there were some characters that kind of sucked.
A little bit
One
too
thing
much
I
focus on.
loved was Delia was basically channeling Moira from Schitt's Creek. I loved that. She stole the scene so much. One thing I didn't like though was how they had actual photos of Torso Guy, like on the headstone and stuff.
Yeah.
You actually got to see his face, which I didn't like. They could have done it without that.
Yeah.
And
Should have been his
just
mugshot.
torso.
I don't know
His
who
Also
mugshot.
talked.
I don't know who wrote it, but they certainly had a bit of a thing for pregnancy. That was a little bit weird.
Yeah. That or they'd seen
Twice.
Dawn of the Dead or something, the remake.
Twice. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, the juice definitely was loose, wasn't it?
I was going to say, with the candy or sweets thing, it's like I hate it when I find Hot Topics in my Hot Pockets.
What the?
Think you've seen the
Oh,
memes?
that
of Hot
getting
Pockets?
there.
No, I have not.
It's like, be careful what's in your Hot Pockets, and then they put something weird, random in there, really stupid, like the entirety of Hot Topic, or like a goth band, or Sisters of Mercy. It's really stupid.
Oh, it's like
Could be anything.
those memes where it's like, oh, look, a goth. No, don't look. And then suddenly they're Susie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically.
Well, I guess should we do like a outro and then that way we can roll out.
You provided the meme, so if we quickly do the meme and then the outro.
Okay.
Plus, I got my story as well, so we got plenty of content to come. We'll just do it as a two-man job.
Yeah. All right.
And you can watch it later and go, ah ha 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 ha.
I'm ready.
Alright. Let me figure out how to share on
Weemy,
my
weemy.
iPad. Share content screen.
That gives me enough time for.
Screen.
Drum roll, please.
8 beers.
Glad you guys can flip off because I've got to put up with drunk ATAC.
Fuck you,
All
I'm
right.
drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk.
Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk.
Alright. Here's the meme. Meme of the
I need
day.
some alcohol. Yeah, I've got
Everyone-
all those things to splice in at various points.
I need some alcohol. I need some alcohol.
Alright. Meme of the day. Everyone always says, Happy Halloween, but not, Are you happy Halloween?
And there's poor Halloween staring into an empty glass with multiple empty glasses. Poor Halloween.
I'm trying to work out what they're drinking. It looks like an Indian beer.
Could be like, I don't know,
Looks like that Kingfisher beer that Indians. It's an Indian beer.
could be a
Anyway.
bottle of tequila.
Or yeah, it could be like one of those.
Those
fancy,
are
like,
Big
Different
shots of
glasses.
tequila.
It's a bottle of Trunk or Treat.
Do you like pina coladas and drinking on your own in a bar?
What are we rating that meme?
I rate it 5 spoons, 1 hair.
Always the spoons and the hairs. Is that a
I
hair
have a
as in...
system, though.
Is
I have a
hair,
system.
though, as in like a hair like a rabbit, or a hair
No.
as in a hair from your head?
Fluff from
Or
Storm.
pubic hair?
Fluff from Storm. I have a system, Joe, and I'm going to stick to it.
Oh, well. We've just been told.
I give it 4 out of 10 gimps.
Jesus.
Alright, Joe?
5 showing my fingers stealing your poop.
I'm the Shadow Man.
What?
That's not going to be a meaty fart.
But
this time.
but no eating your apples.
So you're not gonna rate it with
Oh,
a meaty fart or
The
something.
light. Oh,
It burns.
oh, it burns. Oh.
The light.
Meg, if you rated this,
I give it good 4 out of 5 stars.
oh, we're using
Stars?
Stars!
At least
Oh,
rate it
come
with
on.
pumpkins or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otters.
Okay, 4 out of 5.
I thought our
I
official
just have a
rating.
question
That
though.
shot.
With all the pumpkins and stuff, those orange pumpkins, do you actually eat them or do you just carve them?
I eat
Both.
them.
You can do both.
Both.
Because here we only ever get them around Halloween, and nobody eats them. They're purely for carving. But
You
yeah,
would if you
they
ate
charge
candy corn.
by the kilo.
You can actually eat some of the, not the guts in the pumpkin, but if you cut off like
The
maybe a
flesh.
little bit of the flesh on the
Yeah.
inside, you can eat that. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, it would still be. I mean, it is a pumpkin after all.
Yeah.
I thought our rating system was batshit out of batshit.
Batshit.
Yeah.
Not always.
Bet.
I can change my rating system.
It's Bat
if I want
Squatch.
to. I could have rated it like 5 beers out of 6 or something. I don't know.
It's my birthday.
It's my birthday and I'll die if I want to.
Need to do that cover of the song.
It's my birthday and I'll die if I want to. Die if I want to.
Please, please.
You
Just do it
would
in a
die
spoopy.
too if it happened to you.
Do it in the spoopy way. So spoopy. I'll die if I want to.
I'll die if I want to.
Nice bit of echo.
Where has my Johnny gone? I just killed him. Now he floats in the netherworld. I'll never see him again.
That's okay if my fiance like walking up and she get going so spoopy, and she's like, "I'll fucking kill you." And so
Who
she
did
just
that?
my fiance, because as I was playing it, because I was editing the bonus footage, and I showed her the originals of So Spoopy. Catwalk. What was it?
I don't know.
Something
I
like that
kind of prefer the slowed down version now.
I prefer the original, but
Yeah.
she's like, it's stuck in my head, and I'm gonna kill you. But she's been
Wait
singing
till
the
she
fucking,
hears Stagger.
she's been
I
singing
should
the-
throw that to the bonus for this because it's appropriate because I'm drunk.
She's been singing the fucking clown song from Terrifier for like the whole last week.
I
and
haven't
it's
heard
been-
that yet.
Don't. It's
Nor have I.
Don't.
How
it's
bad
so-
is it on a rate of Pennywise to
It's
Jared
not
Leto?
bad. It's not. It's just a nice song. It's just really catchy and it gets stuck in your head. It's from,
okay.
It's just when you've heard it X amount of times.
It's a big old stankwitch after that.
Hmm.
Alright. Anything left for me and Haven?
No.
Nope.
Fuck off.
Alright.
No, I'm joking.
We better get going.
Now
Fuck
it's
off.
going to
Carbon.
be the 2-person parade. I pity all the listeners. They got to put up with my bullshit.
No, I'm still here.
Dean.
Thanks. I'm still here.
All right.
We got to keep the party going.
All right. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye,
Signing
posers.
off.
Bye, posers.
Bar.
Bye.
Attention, Cranky Goth posers. Due to excessive recording and extended wankery and bullshit, we actually have enough material for a third part of the Halloween special. So you will hear exactly what we got up to when it was just Dean and myself. How many beers will Joe drink? What extra music will we play? How mad will Dean get? Will he put up with all my crap? Find out next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Cranky Goth poser crew, they're coming after you. They are all so spoopy. Cranky Goth poser crew, it's Halloween part 2. Cranky Goth poser crew. Cranky Goth poser crew, they're gonna follow you. We are all so spoopy. Cranky Goth poser crew, it's Halloween part 2. Cranky Goth poser crew. Don't look back, you may see I mean with who. We're back again with Scarecrow Joe too. Cranky Goth poser crew, they're coming after you. We are all so spoopy. Cranky Goth poser crew, it's Halloween part 2. Cranky Goth poser crew. Ha 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 ha. Cranky Goth poser crew.
Bunyip's very bad, and the Bunyip's very bold, and they tell me that the Bunyip's now 1,000 years old. So you better come home quickly, and you better hide very soon, or the Bunyip's going to get you in the Bunyip The Bunyip's partly animal, the Bunyip's partly bird. The Bunyip makes the strangest sound that you have ever heard. So you better come home quickly, and you better hide very soon, or the Bunyip's going to get you. The Bunyip's always nasty, and the Bunyip's very mean. He's the most unpleasant monster that you have ever seen. So you better come home quickly, and you better hide very soon, or the Bunyip's going to get you in the Bunyip.
If you don't put a little bit at the end of this episode of you just like sequentially opening each can at the very end of this episode, I'll be very disappointed.
I could do that.
You have to do it.
I'm gonna cut
it.
One can. Just please start.
Yeah, take it away.
Two beers. Three.
that is interesting.
3 beers.
Those are tiny beers. Yeah.
Excuse me 1 second. 4 beers. Continue. 5 beers.
I feel like you did a party popper because your arm just faded in and then straight out as you did that.
6
Have you worked
beers.
out? Have you worked out what band it is yet?
But first, 7 beers.
Drum roll, please.
8 beers.
I stagger to empty my bladder and make my way to a stall. I piss on the walls, I piss on the floor, not a drop falls into the bowl. And it all becomes clear, I need some more beer. And off to the bar I must go. I stagger up to the bar and I order myself a beer. The barmaid won't serve me, says I am too drunk. So I go out and light up a smoke. And it all becomes clear, I need some more beer. And off somewhere else I must go. I stagger down the street and into the gutter I fall. I've puked down my shirt, I've pissed in my pants, and I'm starting to feel the cold. And it all becomes clear, I need no more beer. I really should be at home. And next week, I'm going to do it all again. And again and again and again. I'll stagger to empty my bladder and make my way to a stall. I'll piss on the walls, I'll piss on the floor, not a drop will fall into the bowl. And it all will be clear, I need some more beer, and off to the bar I will go. Yes, it all will be clear, I need some more beer, and off to the bar I will go.